Soraya Matheson claims her son's daycare center was biased against him, punishing him more than the other children. Justine Banks says the plaintiff's son had behavioral issues, so he needed the extra discipline.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Matheson versus Banks. Ms. Matheson, you are suing Ms. Banks for $5,000 for the return of tuition. You say she was biased against your son. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And the defendant, Ms. Banks, you claim that plaintiff was difficult and always questioned you and your decisions. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
I'll start with you, Ms. Matheson. Can you explain to the court what happened?
Absolutely. So I moved to Los Angeles from Dallas recently, and most of my family is in Dallas, and I don't have a lot of support or childcare here in Los Angeles. But I'm very particular about the way I raise my son. I'm very intentional about what I do. So it was a very big decision for me what childcare was provided and the daycare preschool that I put him in. Because I didn't know a lot of people, I asked my coworkers. I actually moved here for the job, which is why I moved to Los Angeles. And I asked my coworkers if they had any recommendations for a daycare or childcare for me to place my son in. They all highly recommended Mrs. Banks' daycare. I went to go visit the school. I talked to her quite a bit about her philosophy, and it seemed like it very closely matched mine. She talked about individualized attention to the children,
yes,
one-on-one care, right? Really meeting them where they are in their education. And I thought that really matches how I take care of my child.
How old is your child?
My child is 5 years old.
Okay.
And I even did a surprise visit to the school, and she seemed very warm. There was a child sitting in her lap, and she was reading stories to the child. So I was very excited to have my child go to this school.
Boy or girl?
A boy. And then the only thing, though, that I really noticed that I was concerned about was that the school was not very diverse. There weren't a lot of children of color, and every other school that my child has gone to has been diverse. And as a young black boy, I really wanted to make sure that he was in a diverse environment, but also an environment that was affirming to him as a child.
Did you bring that up with Ms. Banks?
Yeah, so one of the things I did bring up was that, but she really talked about, again, she didn't really see color, and she really looked at individualized attention for the children. I wasn't really satisfied with the answer, but because I didn't have a lot of options and I was moving pretty quickly, I decided that I was going to deprioritize that, especially because she had a lot of the other things I was looking for, and I did need him to be in a good and safe environment.
So
I thought
overall,
that would be, yeah.
As you looked at this particular center, you said, this is a good place where it aligns with my values. The only thing I don't like about it is there aren't a lot of other children of color.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
So, Ms. Banks, I'd like to go to you, and I'd like to hear from you.
For 15 years, I've ran my center, and I keep it a very low ratios so that the kids that come in are 10 to 15 kids max, and I have 4 full-time staff members, 1 part-time staff member. Now, I do that so we can individualize, so that we can give them the best support possible. It's 2 to 5 year old children that we have, so we really gear what we provide based on their developmental level. So we are preparing our 5-year-olds more for preschool and for actual kindergarten. It's more like a preschool. What I said to her is that we don't look at color. It's just a matter of basically if we're referred parents, we're referred children, they come in, they see our center, they want to sign up, they sign a contract. So I really, I don't base who I bring into my center based on color.
All right. So can you then explain, Ms. Matheson, what is it that created this issue as to why you're here at We the People?
Absolutely. And, in retrospect, I really should have seen that as a red flag. In Dallas, we were a very diverse environment, and my son was always in diverse classes and has never had any behavioral issues. But as soon as he started at Miss Banks' school, he started getting timeouts. He would come home and say, I got a timeout today, I got a timeout today. And then he told me that Miss Banks yelled at him. Now, again, that does not seem appropriate for the daycare owner to be yelling at the kids. And so I asked him what was going on, and he said he didn't really know.
Coming up.
I noticed that Terrence was in timeout, and I asked Ms. Banks about the situation. No, my daughter was not put in timeout. The child who was biting was not put in timeout. I didn't understand what happened, and I thought that all the children should have been disciplined.
And later,
when I went to go change information with that other driver, he was screaming at me, telling me my backlights were not on, but he had a dash cam and he showed me the footage, and sure enough, my backlights were not on.
Soraya Matheson and daycare owner Justine Banks over a tuition refund.
I was very concerned, and I talked to him and I talked to her, and what he told me was that she wanted him to do things but was not explaining why. And so one of the things was she wanted him to go read, for example, and he would say, well, I read all of the books, I don't want to read them anymore, I want to do something else, and she would not explain or accommodate that in any way, which to me does not align with her ethos of meeting the child where they are, giving individualized attention, and helping them develop in the way they need to.
Actually, that's not exactly what happened.
Well, so okay, but you can tell your side of the story, but essentially, when I went and I spoke to her, what she told me was that my son had behavioral issues, he doesn't listen, and he asked why all the time. I said to her, that is normal behavior for a 5-year-old. And again, if what you prize, certainly not diversity, but if what you prize is individualized attention, you should be able to have enough time to focus on the child and explain to him so that he can understand what he needs to do and why.
All right. Do you feel like Ms. Matheson's son had behavioral problems? Did you report to her that he wasn't behaving appropriately at school?
Actually, I did. And what I saw right from the beginning was he had a difficult time with transitions. He would be doing a puzzle and he didn't want to stop doing the puzzle. And I'd say we were going to transition to another activity and he'd say, why? And, you know, in the beginning, I would begin to explain it to him. But when it happened repeatedly, I saw this as a behavioral problem. And I, you know, from what I've seen in my 15 years of working and having my center, is that, you know, this could stem from a problem with authority, or may further down the line become a problem with listening to authoritative figures and people that are, you know, in charge. I mean, in kindergarten, you have to follow a routine, you have to follow a schedule. And I explained that to Ms. Matheson, that we have consistency, we believe in stability and a schedule. And that is a good for a child's development at that age, and is what they need.
And so did you yell at her son when he did not do what you asked him to do?
I didn't exactly yell. I raise my voice at the kids now and then at times. I mean,
I can understand that for preschool.
Yes.
You
Yes.
definitely may have to be stern in terms of what you're asking them to do if they're not listening or they're very loud and you have to kind of settle them down. But were you yelling at him individually?
Well, I raised my voice at him after so many times of asking him to transition, or, you know, him asking
Can
why.
I ask you something? As soon as you told me he was having trouble transitioning, I thought about a child who had just come to a new area, to a new school. There weren't a lot of people who looked like him, and maybe he was finding his safe place in this thing that engaged him. And maybe he didn't want to transition because he wasn't interested.
Well, the thing is if you let all children just do what they feel like doing at the moment, it's more like babysitting, basically. We're not able to teach them skills or structure or routine. So if I were to let him just sit and play with his puzzles and do what he wanted to do and not come to circle time, then there might be other children that would decide, well, I just want to do this instead. I mean, we do have a structure and a routine, and you know,
How quickly into his time there, how soon after you joined was he getting the timeouts and not transitioning?
Almost immediately. So I didn't hear about not transitioning. What I heard was that he was not interested in the activities that they had. So for example, when I asked him about the books, he said he had read them all. And that's absolutely true, because when I investigated, he had a lot of books that we had already read at home, and he wanted to read other books. I even went so far as to purchase other books to bring to the center for him to read, but the timeouts did not stop. And can I please call out, though, he has been in other daycare centers, and he has never gotten any feedback that he does not listen to authority or that he does not transition.
I'm interested to know, were there other children getting timeouts as frequently as her son?
No, not as frequently, and they've been there longer than a month. It's not that he is just brand new.
All right, I'd like to hear from your witness, Ms. Matheson. Ma'am, please stand. You've already been sworn in. State your name for the court.
Your Honor, my name is Christine Raven.
Thank you for being here, Ms. Raven. What would you like to add?
My daughter, Alicia, has always loved Terrence, and I'm here because...
Terrence is Ms. Matheson's son?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I'm here because of a particular incident. There's a child that was biting the kids at the daycare, and my daughter, Alicia, and Terrence hit this child. I'm sure it was chaotic, but when I picked Alicia up from school that day, I asked her about what happened. She was upset, and I noticed that Terrence was in timeout. And Alicia told me that Terrence was in timeout, and I asked Ms. Banks about the situation. No, my daughter was not put in timeout. The child who was biting was not put in timeout, and I was very alarmed by this. And so I told Ms. Matheson that I didn't understand what happened, and I thought that all the children should have been disciplined.
How will Judge Lake rule? Tune in tomorrow for the exciting conclusion.
I immediately said, I am taking my child out. This is not a safe environment for him, and you need to give me my money back because I paid in advance.
I'd like to meet your son. Well, hello, Terrence. Welcome. How are you today?
Good.
Coming up,
We inspected every inch of that car down to its fluid.
And everything worked
Everything worked.
at that time.
At that time, it worked. That same night, we got rear-ended. And I went to go change informations with that other driver. He was screaming at me, telling me my back lights were not on.
Errol Chambers claims he was sold a car with faulty brake lights, which caused him to be rear-ended the same day. Sergio Price says the plaintiff had plenty of time to examine the car and didn't have any concerns.
This is the case of Chambers versus Price. Mr. Chambers, you are suing Mr. Price for $2,322 because you say the defendant sold you a car with faulty brake lights. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Price, you say the plaintiff had plenty of time to look the vehicle over.
He did.
All right. How did you find out that Mr. Price had a car for sale?
I found him on Craigslist.
All right, and what kind of car was it?
It's a 2006 Dodge Magnum,
What was the price?
$7,000.
So, Mr. Price, you had this Dodge Magnum for sale. Were you at a dealer? Are you a used car dealer, or where were you selling it? On your home?
I'm not a dealer, ma'am. I was selling it at my house.
So you were selling it at your house?
Yep.
All right. And so Mr. Chambers comes. What happens?
Well, he was looking for a car and said his car that he had died. And he said he really liked the Magnum because it's like a hopped up station wagon. And he came, spent a couple hours at the house. My wife even came out with snacks, and we hung out for a couple hours. And we took the Magnum for a test drive, and he took his time looking it over and inspecting it top to bottom, and seemed to be pretty satisfied.
Did you look over the car, Mr. Chambers?
Yes, I did.
Top to bottom?
Top to bottom, down to the fuel.
You didn't see anything wrong with it?
No.
Coming up,
I was super sure the car was working. I just came out of, it was the same night. I just checked it. Nothing was wrong with it. But he had a dash cam, and he showed me the footage. And sure enough, my backlights were not on.
Did you bring that dash cam?
No, that was his.
we're back with the case of Errol Chambers, who is arguing with Sergio Price over faulty brake lights.
So what happened? You are petitioning the court because you say the car was faulty.
So when we left, my girlfriend and I, she was driving behind me. I went to my mother's house to show her the new purchase I had and have dinner. That same night, we got rear-ended. When I went to go change informations with that other driver, he was screaming at me, telling me my backlights were not on, just really rude with me, and I was super sure the car was working. I just came out of, it was the same night. We just checked it. Nothing was wrong with it, but he had a dash cam, and he showed me the footage, and sure enough, my backlights were not on.
Did you bring that dash cam?
No, that was his. I couldn't bring it.
All right, so Mr. Price, did you have any knowledge that the backlights weren't working?
Well, vague memory serves that it maybe had a flicker a long time ago, but I drove that car for years and it never gave me a problem.
Did anyone bring the ad of the car?
I did.
I'd like to see that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll take all your evidence here. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so here's the listing. He's selling it, 75,000 miles, serious offers only. You don't say that the car is as is?
Well, it's a cash sale, Your Honor. I'm not a dealer, so there's no warranty. So
you asked, was there a warranty?
No.
What I don't understand is if you spent 2 hours over there, why not just call a mechanic or someone that knows how cars work to get an inspection? You could have done that, because this is a really great life lesson and legal lesson, right? Before you purchase something, before you sign a title over, before anything happens and you have the opportunity to inspect the vehicle, you have to do your due diligence.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Meanwhile, now you're mad because you say you bought a car with faulty brake lights.
Okay.
Why didn't you get the car inspected? Why didn't you want that extra protection?
Well, me and him inspected together.
You walked through the car together.
We walked through the car together. We inspected every inch of that car down to its fluids.
And everything worked
Everything worked.
at that time.
At that time, it worked. The lemon law. I should be protected from it.
Right. And I know you felt that way. And that's probably why you didn't do your due diligence and get that added inspection. And unfortunately, Mr. Chambers, I have to tell you that the lemon law just applies to dealers, businesses. It does not, in the state of California, apply to private sellers, because private sellers can sell a car as is, and they don't even have to put the words as is on the advertisement. Do you understand?
Yes,
For that
ma'am.
reason, judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
sorry, kid. Got to be in it to win it.
You know you're wrong, man. You know I ain't right. I'll see you on Craigslist again.
You ain't getting nothing.
Bet.
Yeah,
All right.
keep it up.
I will.
Yeah. Grow up, kid.
I will.
Follow me, please.
Andrea Schwartz claims her former fiancé or his son need to pay for the cost of her child's birth. Wayne and Julian Pierce say that if she had a relationship with both of them, it's likely someone else is the baby's father.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Schwartz versus Pierce and Pierce. Ms. Schwartz, you are suing Mr. Pierce and his son for $4,250, which is half of your birth expenses. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And the defendants, you both say you are not the father.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Correct, Your Honor.
Well, we have a father and son as co-defendants,
That's correct, Your Honor.
so you should get to testify, Ms. Schwartz. How can father and son both be potential fathers?
Wayne and I, we were engaged, we were fiancé, and we were planned to be married when his son moved in with us to study for his MCATs. Because Mr. Pierce is an orthopedic surgeon, and his son wanted to follow in his father's footsteps.
Boy, did he.
The reason our
Go ahead.
relationship went south is because he knew that I really wanted a child, and he never had the time for our relationship, let alone the relationship with his son.
Your Honor, if I may, I am an orthopedic surgeon, as she said, and that requires many, many hours, and she knew that when we met, and that was one of the reasons our engagement went so long, was figuring out if that time was enough. Julian is my son from my previous marriage, and I had reservations about having another child, which Andrea knew quite well.
All right, so you were not convinced that you wanted to have another child.
That's correct.
And you all were using this engagement for really what engagements are for, is to continue to get to know one another and figure out if marriage is really the right next step.
He was delaying and never made time for us or for Julian. And he knew it's very important for me, being in my 30s as a woman. I'm excited to have a child and be a mother.
So you started making time for Julian?
Your Honor.
We spent more time together. I helped him to study since his father was not even there to help him study as he should have been.
Ms. Schwartz, how old are you?
I am 34.
And Julian, how old are you?
I'm 22, Your Honor.
All right. So you obviously started to have a romantic interest in Ms. Schwartz, or was this something that just happened? How is it that you became intimate with your fiance's son?
Julian came on to me, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's not true. In fact, me and Andrea had spent lots and lots of time together while my father was working. She was helping me study for the MCATs. She was, since she'd quit her job, she was spending a lot of time around the house. This time would get more and more intimate. And, really, we just developed a bond. And I suppose that it's possible that we were both holding on to resentment for my father. When I was in my adolescence, he wasn't really around much, and I didn't really think he treated my mom very well. Again, it's the same things that Andrea was upset with, that he was spending too much time at work and not enough time with her. And I think Andrea, really used that, and I think she used me as an opportunity to distract herself from that. And I will definitely deny that I came on to her. If anything, it's the opposite. She would go around the house in her underwear. And in fact, the first time we were physically intimate, I said she initiated it.
Julian came on to me, but as he was saying, we both filled a void that Wayne himself put between us as his family.
Your Honor, the night we became physically intimate...
I'm still stuck on walking around the house in your underwear in front of your future stepson. Is that true, Ms. Schwartz?
It was a bikini.
Okay. I mean, I get it. If it was by the pool or you're at the beach, he would see you in a bikini anyway. But so you're just walking around the house in your bikini. Are you going out to the pool?
Yes, indeed. Yes, we live together after all. Sometimes things do get intimate.
You never heard of cover-ups, huh?
Coming up.
It was a very difficult conversation, and yes, I was furious with him.
I mean, y'all so calm. They so calm with it, right, Sean? What is going on here? Your son was sleeping with your fiance, and your fiance was sleeping with your son.
We're back with the case of Andrea Schwartz, who brought potential fathers Wayne and Julian Pierce to court over the cost of her child's birth.
Listen, I understand that his job, Mr. Pierce's job, was demanding. So much so that it probably did leave you with a lot of downtime. But that downtime, I don't think was... I don't think you had so much downtime that you need to get down with his son. I mean, can you find something else to do? A club to join? A gym? Yoga? I mean, there are other opportunities and activities.
I made a mistake.
To occupy yourself when you have a fiance that's very busy.
It was a temporary lack of judgment and a lapse of judgment.
So this was a one-time thing?
No, Your Honor. It continued for a few months. We were both aware that, it shouldn't be happening. We were both guilty about it. But, for me at least, it was more like an addiction. And eventually, any resentment from my father stopped even being a part of this because, we'd essentially engaged in a relationship, me and her.
Was it a relationship for you, Ms. Schwartz?
I had begun losing feelings for Wayne after a while. He was supposed to be my fiance, but I was spending more time with his son. Regardless, Your Honor, one of these men is the father to my child. And I'm only asking for half of the birthing expenses. I think that's fair.
No, don't try to skip over to the damages now. You all done started this mess. I want to understand how it all came to a head. At what point did you find out, Mr. Pierce, that your son and your fiance were sleeping together?
So my son came to me in tears to confess to me what had happened. It was a very difficult conversation, and yes, I was furious with him.
I mean, y'all so calm. They so calm with it, right, Sean? My son told me that he... What is going on here? Your son was sleeping with your fiance, and your fiance was sleeping with your son.
That is correct. And when I found that out, I confronted Andrea. She confessed that it was true, and I threw her out because I was done at that point.
I bet you were. I bet you were. So, Ms. Schwartz, did you know that Julian was feeling that much guilt that he was going to go to his father? Or, Julian, were you feeling guilt? Or were you really trying to destroy the relationship between Ms. Schwartz and your father because you wanted her to be with you?
I wasn't trying to destroy anything, Your Honor. I mean, I did feel guilt the entire time, as I'm sure Andrea did as well. But when Andrea told me that she didn't want to continue the relationship with me because she wanted to start a family with my father, it seemed ridiculous to me. And I did get upset, and I did get angry because it made no sense. My father made it clear that he didn't want to start a family with her, that he didn't want to have another child, and it was preposterous for her to think that there was any sort of future there. So for her to end that relationship with me, I was a bit curt, and I was a bit upset. And at that point, the only thing left to do was to tell my father, quite honestly, because neither relationship was going to continue after that.
So, Ms. Schwartz, during the window of conception, when your child was conceived, you are saying, it is your testimony, that you were having unprotected sex with both Mr. Pierce, the father, and Mr. Pierce, the son.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, that's exactly how you have a question of paternity. Were you having sex with anybody else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out who is the father of your beautiful child. Was it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy, and this is baby Cameron. I keep this picture in my wallet if I may present some evidence along with the medical expenses.
So by the time you had the baby?
When we first separated, when we cut off our engagement, I was 6 weeks pregnant at that moment, but I did not know. And then,
so when you broke up, you didn't know you were pregnant?
I did not know yet. And when I wanted to contact them, the Pierces, to tell them, I had been cut off from all communication.
Your Honor, I would just like to say I think it's a little bit irresponsible if she's having unprotected sex for both of us not to be taking pregnancy tests for 6 weeks after. I mean, it's...
You got all the answers, young Julian. I mean, I just wish you had all of this mature perspective when you decided to have sex with your father's fiance.
I
love that when people come to We the People, they are full
of
on
knowledge.
You know, advocates, lawyers. They've got all of the right answers and the right reasoning. But we don't have that in our own lives.
I know, Your Honor, I made a monumental mistake.
Are we really in position to talk about what was irresponsible right now?
I've done a lot of personal work to grow from this, and I certainly will not be hurting my father like this again, and I certainly won't be doing anything like this in the future.
Have you two been able to salvage your relationship and regain trust and respect for one another?
We have, Your Honor. It took a lot of work and it took time, but after talking through it and how hard it was, we were able to mend our relationship and are actually closer than we have ever been.
All right.
Coming up.
Look, I don't want to say anything about Andrea and what she does, but, you know, if she had one affair, it's possible she could have had multiple.
Whew, this is messy.
We're back with the case of Andrea Schwartz, who brought potential fathers Wayne and Julian Pierce to court over the cost of her child's birth.
So, Ms. Schwartz, you had to have the baby by yourself.
Yes, Your
Who
Honor.
came to the hospital when the baby was born?
No one did, Your Honor, because they cut me off of communication completely. As much as I tried to call them and be in contact again, I could not.
So how did you notify them you were pregnant?
With this, as we are here.
What?
We were notified via the lawsuit. I didn't want to ever speak to her again after what had happened, so I did go out of my way to make sure that all communication was blocked.
So after you found that out, did you ask to see the baby?
I did not, Your Honor. It brought up some very difficult feelings for me at that time. And I do work a lot, and I do spend a lot of time and energy there, and sometimes I may disconnect when things are difficult and bury myself in my work. So I did not ask to see, no.
Have you seen the baby, Julian?
No, I have not, Your Honor. Me and my father truly didn't want anything to do with Andrea after all of this mess, and To be
But
honest,
what about the baby? Even if you didn't want anything to do with Ms. Schwartz, you were sleeping with her unprotected. If you thought, well, one of us could be this child's father, why wouldn't you not try to see the baby?
I don't believe it's my baby, Your Honor. I don't believe it's my child.
You don't?
No.
Do you believe it's your father's child?
No, I don't believe it's either of our child.
Why don't you believe that?
Look, I don't want to say anything about Andrea and what she does, but, you know, if she had one affair, it's possible she could have had multiple. It's possible she could have been with someone after the breakups with both me and my father. I'm just saying it's not unlikely that someone else could have done this.
Whew, this is messy.
Coming up,
Well, there's only one way to find out whether father or son fathered Ms. Schwartz's child. I have the paternity results.
we're back with the case of Andrea Schwartz, who brought potential fathers Wayne and Julian Pierce to court over the cost of her child's birth.
Well, there's only one way to find out whether father or son fathered Ms. Schwartz's child. I have the paternity results. When it comes to 6-month-old baby Cameron, it has been determined by this court that Mr. Wayne Pierce, father, you are not the father. Baby Cameron is not your child. The next result reads as follows. As it pertains to 6-month-old baby Cameron, son Julian Pierce, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Pierce, you are the father. Julian, you're going to need to use all that wisdom and maturity and logic you've just tried to display in court today and help raise this baby.
This is all very new information, obviously, and it's going to take some time to process this. I suppose I'll do whatever.
Well, while you processing, you also need to be paying, because the baby is here.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Why are you in tears, Ms. Schwartz?
I have made my mistake with Wayne, and I was hoping to potentially mend our relationship by having this child between us. And I thank you.
Oh, you were hoping that the child would be Dad's child so that you all could get back together because you really have regret for sleeping with his son.
I do. I made a mistake.
I don't know if you ever get over that, though. Do you, Sean?
No, I don't think so.
Ain't no birthday, no holiday ever gonna be the same. So with that said, Mr. Pierce, you are going to be responsible for expenses that Ms. Schwartz has incurred since this child was born, and now courts have been ruling that you're even responsible for the expenses incurred before this child was born. So it is the judgment of this court, judgment for the plaintiff for $4,250. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $4,250.
We have this beautiful blessing, this baby, and I am just happy that I was able to fulfill my dream of being a mother. So
You finally got what you want, but I will make sure that my son and my grandson.
Don and Mary Reynolds claim the gender reveal party for their future grandchild wasn't what they expected or paid for. Willow Holloway claims the co-plaintiff's daughter wanted a twist on the tradition, so that's what they did.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake now presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Reynolds versus Holloway. The plaintiffs are suing the defendant for $5,000 for a botched gender reveal. The defendant claims that they followed their daughter's instructions. All right, let's begin with you, the plaintiffs. Mr. and Ms. Reynolds, what happened?
Well, the lovely young woman seated over here is Ashley. She is our only child. We adore her. We raised her to be a good Christian girl, and we have supported her in anything she wanted to do. We paid for her wedding. We paid for her subsequent divorce. When she decided that she wanted to have a child, we understood, and she had a great deal of trouble getting pregnant. She went through several rounds of fertility treatments and in vitro fertilization, all of which we paid for. But God smiled on us, and she became pregnant, and we were just overjoyed.
Overjoyed.
But she's on the opposite side of the aisle in the courtroom, so I guess I'll figure out why.
Well, we're here to get our money back from Willow here, who we had hired for a gender reveal party for our lovely daughter, and she did not give us what we paid for. We paid $5,000 for a gender reveal.
And we made it very clear that this needed to be an important part of this baby shower party. Well, we walked into the party, and we're expecting to see pink balloons and blue balloons, and none of that. There was green and yellow and cream, and we're listening around, and we realized that there was not going to be a reveal of the gender of the baby, which was what we primarily paid for.
And so take me back to how you ended up funding this, right?
Well, Ashley, our beautiful daughter, we give her anything that she's wanted all throughout her life.
Well, that's the first problem, but go ahead.
Well, she wanted to have this nice baby shower and a gender reveal.
So it was a baby shower and gender reveal?
Yes, Your Honor,
okay,
it was. It was both. We had a photo. I have my invoice here. We had
I'd like to see
brunch.
that.
We had catering. We had alcohol. We had photo booth. I mean, this was a quite extensive event.
All right, I need to see that because I want to be specific, because some people do their gender reveals individually, and then once the gender is revealed, then they have a shower later so that people can buy gifts for whatever gender it was. So this was planned to be a baby shower / gender reveal.
Correct.
You'll see that right there on the invoice.
You paid $2,500.
$5,000, Your Honor.
$5,000, but this is the deposit of $2,500.
Correct.
Well, it also states in there, Your Honor, too, that we did pay the whole thing off.
Got it. I was getting down to that part where everything was included. All right. So what's the problem? You get there and the colors weren't what you wanted them to be?
The colors weren't what we would expect there to be.
That wasn't the...
But that wasn't the main thing, right? I mean,
No.
it was the gender reveal. Again, this is our only daughter. We were so excited to find out the sex of our grandchild, which, by the way, Your Honor, the baby is 6 months old. We still don't know.
All right. Oh.
We still don't know.
We don't know.
So
you don't know.
The gender reveal was supposed to be like...
You're saying you don't know the baby? You've never seen the baby?
No,
or you don't
Your
know
Honor,
the
we
gender?
have not. We have
do not know the baby's gender. We do not know the baby's
All right,
name.
let me go to the defendant. Ms. Holloway.
Yes.
You were hired to plan a baby shower / baby reveal for the Reynolds family.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
Tell me about where you believe the miscommunication came in.
I believe the miscommunication came in because they, in fact, were not specific that they wanted to know the sex of the child. They had hired me because I'm a friend of Ashley's and had put Ashley in charge of the reveal party. So I was essentially listening to her. And she had specified that she wanted to have a twist on the gender reveal tradition, which is that she wants her child to grow up being able to understand their own identity on their own terms, and that at the reveal party we would not be revealing the gender of the child, and that we would just be revealing the child.
Coming up.
So, Ms. Holloway, you submitted picture and videos to the court of the baby.
Yes.
I'd like to see.
I would like to see this too. Oh my God.
And later.
When we first got together, he stated that he would pay me $2K a month for seeing him once a week, and then
$2K a month for real love.
We're back with the case of Don and Mary Reynolds. who brought Willow Holloway to court over a gender reveal party.
When you hired the defendant to produce the party, did you say, please follow the instructions of my daughter as to what she wants for the party? That's the answer I need.
Well, of course we said, well, what Ashley wants.
I know you did, because you opened your testimony and said we give her whatever she wants.
Yes,
Correct.
we do.
And so you did do that.
We
But
did.
I need to go back to the defendant. So continue.
Yes, so first of all, I just want to clarify, my pronouns are they, them, and I know that they've frequently misused that, so I wanted to clarify that. Secondly, I just wanted to create a party for Ashley, and I followed it to the T. You can see everything in the invoice. I'm mostly frustrated because they're wanting to sue for something that they don't appreciate based on their ideology, and that's not what I was contracted to do.
All right. Now, I think to understand this further, your daughter is actually a defense witness. I'd like to hear from her. Ms. Reynolds, please stand. State your full name for the court.
Ashley Reynolds.
Ms. Reynolds, thank you for being here today. This entire situation, or debacle, whatever you want to call it, is based upon trying to celebrate a life you're bringing into the world, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, did you dictate to the defendant, Ms. Holloway, that you did not really want to do the standard or the customary style gender reveal where you reveal whether it's a girl or a boy? You wanted to do something different. Is that true?
Yes.
You communicated that?
With Ms. Holloway, yes.
Clearly?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just that Willow has been a really bad influence on our daughter for years.
In what way?
Well, she has, as we discussed, an alternative lifestyle. We don't approve of it, but that is her business. What I don't think she has any business doing is promoting her political agenda at my daughter's party.
It was
Okay, so what is the political agenda?
There is no political agenda. We both decided that we had a friend who committed suicide recently, but before the shower, because they tried to come out as non-binary and they were shunned from their parents and kicked out of the house. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And we decided that to celebrate this new life, we didn't want them to feel trapped.
Who's we?
Me and Miss Holloway. We're roommates.
Understood. Okay.
So Miss Holloway's helping me take care of the baby, as I have no one else in my life at the moment. And we decided to have this baby shower be a support of what we hope the world to become, that we want love and support for this child no matter what they want.
So you and Ms. Holloway are roommates, and they are helping you raise the baby.
Yes.
Now, do your parents know that? Or are we really uncovering a different kind of truth here in this courtroom?
They would have already known the truth if they had stayed for the party. Willow and I have been dating on and off since high school. And they've given me the support and love that you never could.
Sweetheart, we love you.
We've always
We love you.
You love the idea of me.
No, we love you, sweetheart. We do. Listen, do we even, we don't even know the gender. How do we find out? Do we have a grandson or a granddaughter?
You have a grandchild. Their name is Marcel.
Is that a girl? That's a girl?
Your Honor, we have some footage of the child.
So, Ms. Holloway, you submitted picture and videos to the court of the baby?
Yes.
I'd like to see.
I would like to see this too. Oh my God.
There's your grandchild.
So sweet. That's Marcel?
And how does it feel to see your grandchild for the first time?
It's a pretty overwhelming experience, Your Honor, to say the least.
And you should have been there in person to share it, and you should be there in person to share it from now on.
You're absolutely correct.
It is the determination of this court, however, based upon the evidence that was submitted, that Ms. Holloway did, in fact, fulfill the terms of the contract and the agreement. They put on a party to celebrate a new life per the direction of your daughter. And she indicated that she wanted to not reveal the gender at a party that's normally a gender reveal because that's what she chooses and that's what she wanted. And maybe today can be the beginning of a brand new start.
Maybe
With that said, judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The co-plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Would you like to give your daughter a hug?
I would.
Willow?
Sweetheart.
I don't know how much more you can do right now, but you're good.
So sorry. So sorry we caused any problems. Willow, we welcome you. Thank you.
Coming up.
I DM'd him on Instagram and asked him if he could take down the pictures, and he threatened me and told me that.
Come on, threaten you?
Yes, he did.
How old are you, Mr. Kurtz?
45.
Tiffany Smith claims her reputation was damaged after she was outed as a sugar baby on social media. Roger Kurtz says he only told the truth in his post and was upfront that he wanted a serious relationship.
This is the case of Smith versus Kurtz. Ms. Smith, you are suing Mr. Kurtz for $15,000 for defamation. Mr. Kurtz, you say you only told the truth. Is that correct?
Correct, Judge.
All right. I'll start with you, Ms. Smith. Tell the court what happened.
So we met on this website called Seeking Arrangements.
All right.
It is a website for sugar babies seeking sugar daddies.
Okay.
And he messaged me stating that he wanted to be my man. So, of course, I thought he meant he wanted to be my sugar daddy. So I agreed. We had a conversation, and he stated that we could meet, but he wanted more. He wanted an actual relationship.
Of course.
But I told him that I wasn't ready for that. So we could start off small and see where it goes.
What was your point of joining that community?
Me, I was looking for love. As time went on, we got pretty serious along with the intimacy.
Your
We
Honor,
spent a
we're
lot of time
together
together.
for 6 months.
6 months is a long time.
So, Ms. Smith, you don't agree with Mr. Kurtz's testimony?
No. When we first got together, he stated that he would pay me $2K a month for seeing him once a week. And then
$2K a month for real love.
Yes, Your Honor. And after our first month, that's when we officially started becoming intimate. And that's when he started saying how he wanted this to be more. And I told him,
Of course, I'm paid for it.
I'm only 22. I'm not trying to have a serious relationship right now. I'm just doing this so I could make some extra money because my friends told me about this website.
Coming up.
He ended up going on social media and posting our pictures. My family now knows about this. Now my dad is no longer talking to me. I've been disowned.
We're back with the dispute between Tiffany Smith and Roger Kurtz over a revealing social media post.
Do you have receipts of the $2,000 you sent her per month?
No, but she already admitted. Haven't you? Right? Am I right?
Yes, we had an agreement for $2K a month to meet
I'm
once
just
a
wondering
week.
why you come to court without the proof that you were paying her.
Hey, I'll look at get together what I can get together during that short period of time of coming here, you know?
Okay, well, where's the defamation come in, Ms. Smith?
So he ended up going on social media and posting our pictures and pictures of me stating that, oh, I'm his girl, and then he even tagged my parents.
Right. It's
he
my
tagged
my
my dad, my mom.
It's my Instagram.
My
I
sister.
put what I want on there.
And now they're no longer talking to me due to my family being very religious. He has put out my business as being his sugar baby. My friends, they're having...
Do you have evidence of these conversations or this post that he put out about you?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see that, please.
Thank you.
They probably falsified.
I DM'd him on Instagram and asked him if he could take down the pictures, and he threatened me and told me that...
Come on, threaten you?
Yes, you did.
How?
I have the proof. She's going to see it.
How old are you, Mr. Kurtz?
45.
Act it.
Okay.
So you basically said to him, I really don't want to date you anymore. And did you say to him, don't send me another $2,000?
Yes, we were done. I actually cut him off, and we were not speaking. And that's when he did that.
And so how many payments of $2,000 did you get?
Let's see. We were for 6 months, and it was for a month.
Over 16
All right, and
in
what
cash.
were your damages?
My family now knows about this, and now my dad is no longer talking to me. I've been disowned, and my father was helping me with my college tuition. He was
But
giving
she
me
wasn't-
$5K. Like I was saying, he was giving me $5K per semester
So you have a balance of 3 semesters remaining, and that is $15,000.
Yes.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People
Problem is, Ms. Smith, the damages that you incurred are in part because of your behavior, right?
Right.
You the one, I don't need your help. I'm not no sugar baby. I don't need your voice or your money.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, Ms. Smith, what you got yourself into, you could have been exposed in a myriad of ways. Somebody could have seen you out with this 45-year-old man. Your mama and your daddy could have seen you out somewhere with him. Somebody could have taken a picture of you. Somebody could have screenshot your face off that site and posted it. And the damages that you incurred, unfortunately, I don't believe that Mr. Kurtz should be responsible for, because they did not defame you. They just exposed the truth about what you were doing. And he said nothing but the truth. For that reason, judgment for the defendant, court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
See, I told you not to drag me out here.
Whatever.
You should have known
you know
better.
what you're doing.
What you mean I knew what I was doing? You know what you were
psycho.
doing.
Stop. I
Come
don't
on,
want to
we
talk to you
already
anymore.
had an agreement and...
Just stop. Don't even talk to me.
Well, it stopped all right. It stopped all right.
Ryan Murray claims he went to his barber to look his best for a potential ad campaign. But a botched haircut cost him the job. Chase Weathers says Mr. Murray wouldn't stop moving, so he only has himself to blame.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated. This is the case of Murray versus Weathers. Mr. Murray, you are suing Mr. Weathers for $2,750. You say that he was negligent with respect to barber services. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and the defendant, Mr. Weathers, you say you did the best you could with the services under the time constraints. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, tell us what happened, Mr. Murray.
So I received a phone call from my agent at the time, and they told me that I had a opportunity to be a part of a new hair care product service, and they casted me for it. But I needed to take a picture and attach it to the contract in order to send it back, in order to be casted. At the time, I needed to get a haircut. I called Mr. Weathers because he's been my barber, and I trusted him for the past 9 years.
Okay.
And I told him that I needed to get a rush cut because I needed to have this picture in by the deadline, which was 5 p.m. I get to his barbershop at 1:45 because I'm always on time. I wait until 2 p.m. He had someone else in the chair at the time, which is understandable because that's just how the barbershop works.
You called last minute.
I did.
Okay.
I did. And so he had someone else in the chair. After he was done with that person in the chair, another guy came and got in the chair before me. This is now 3 p.m.
All right.
So now I'm kind of concerned. I'm asking him, hey, what's going on? You know, Chase, you know I got a deadline. Why aren't you cutting my hair? He proceeds to explain that he has express services and that they're paying more money than I am.
Oh, is that a new thing? So, okay, so you can pay your beauty and barber professional extra money and what, go in front of other people, or how does that work? You tell me, Mr. Weathers.
Yes, Your Honor. So with the express cut, say, for example, you were in the seat getting your hair cut. You just got into the seat. Somebody comes along and say, hey, I have $100 for your express cut. You would have to get out the seat. That person would get into the seat and get their full cut and happen to leave.
Even if I had an appointment?
Yes, ma'am.
And I
Yes,
don't
Your
get
Honor.
nothing of the express cut money?
You don't get any of the express money. Any of it. I own my own barbershop. I have my own rules. I'm well known around Detroit, Michigan.
King Weathers. King Weathers said I have my own rules.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
are your rules?
Yes, so one of my rules are express cut. So like I said, once you come in and you want to pay $100 for express cut, you'll be next. The cut happens to happen at 4:30, 4:45. So when that happened, I'm cutting his line. A lot of things are happening behind me, far as the sprayer that you put for your hairline is unplugged. I'm plugging it back in.
He was distracted, Your Honor. He was distracted. He was on the phone with his girlfriend. He watching the TV. He talking to other customers. He eating chips in the back of my head. I felt chips on my head, Your Honor.
You had chips on your head?
I felt chips on my head.
Yeah.
Cool
What
Ranch
kind of
Dorito.
chip?
Cool
Are they
Ranch.
salt and vinegar? That's my favorite.
It was the Cool Ranch.
If I may, Your Honor.
Listen. So you say he was busy back there. He wasn't busy doing a good job on your hair.
Not at all.
But with the relationship that you had with Mr. Weathers, Mr. Murray, why don't you just say, hey, man, this is really important to me? Like, come on.
I did. I kept asking. I say, hey, what's going on? He's, hey, man, this is my shop. Like you say, he has his own rules. So he's talking to everybody. He's more concerned with being the center of attention than cutting my hair.
I'm not more concerned to be the center of attention. I do well at what I do. He decided to take my cuts for 9 years. This has never happened, Your Honor.
Are you eating the chips and talking on the phone, Mr.
Yes.
Weathers?
Yes,
he
Your
said
Honor.
yes, he is.
Yes,
he
Your
is
Honor.
eating the chips.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you haven't had any time to eat because you got express cuts and a full schedule.
Yes, Your Honor.
Coming up.
When you get done with the haircut, what was wrong with it?
Your Honor, I came to get an edge up, and he gave me a jagged edge.
Oh.
Yeah.
And later.
I showed her 3 or 4 different pictures.
Were you all in a relationship? It was your yard?
It was a polyamorous relationship. I was living in their house.
We're back with the case of Ryan Murray, who brought Chase Weathers to court over a botched haircut and a lost job.
So you eating your chips, you plugging in your stuff, you got to multitask, express cuts, you own the shop, you got rules. It's a lot going on, Mr. Weathers. When you get done with the haircut, what was wrong with it?
Your Honor, I came to get an edge up, and he gave me a jagged edge.
Oh.
Yeah.
So wait, it was little jack-o'-lantern?
It was floating to the left like Gumby. You remember Gumby?
Oh, yes.
It floated like that.
I know that. I love Gumby.
Are you going to tell the truth?
But listen, do you have a picture of that?
I have a picture right here,
Let me
Your
see
Honor. As you can see, it's slanted.
It is definitely slightly slanted. I can't stand that the line isn't straight. But I do understand that in a rush, eating chips and moving around, how this could happen. So when you spin around in the chair, do you immediately notice that your hairline is crooked?
Judge, I let out a scream. The whole barbershop heard it.
Okay, and so, Mr. Weathers, when you saw that the hairline is noticeably crooked, and this is not something that is, this is something that happens sometimes, all right? What did you say?
Before the hairline was crooked, this man, Ryan, was all on his phone. And I told him, while I'm lining him up with the blade, please get off your phone, Ryan. He said, no, I'm still talking. So I said, okay. I'm lining his hair. Yeah, baby girl, what you doing? Yeah, I got this photo shoot next. Yeah, I'm still lining his hair.
Your Honor, that's not true.
Can you please be still? So while I was getting his hair, I'm cutting it, and it looks fine to me. But I kept telling him to stop moving.
So, I need to know, Mr. Murray.
Yes.
Were you or were you not on the phone while you were getting the front of your hair edged? Were you or were you not on the phone?
Your Honor, I was using my phone looking down. I did look down because my agent had contacted me and he was trying to get an update on when I was going to be sending this picture out.
Exactly. And so move on. So once it was crooked, did he try to fix it?
No, he didn't try to fix it. At the time, he told me that he had other customers waiting.
Oh, not another express cut.
Another express cut, Your Honor.
Did you let an express cut in, Mr. Weathers?
I didn't let an express cut get in. He stormed out after his loud ruckus. As soon as I turned him around, showed him the mirror, I'm not paying for anything.
Would you pay, Your Honor? Even Ray Charles could see that hairline is messed up.
What?
$2,000, Your Honor? $2,000?
No. Listen. I'm gonna be straight with you. You asked me a question. Usually, as the judge, I ask the questions, you give the answers. But you did ask me a question, and I will tell you, yes, I did pay. The times that my son's hairline was crooked, I did not pay for the whole haircut and lineup. I just simply gave the barber an opportunity to cure, meaning an opportunity to straighten it up. Now, after they did that, I may not have gone back to that same barber again, right? But I did give them the opportunity. Why didn't you give him the opportunity to straighten you up? I mean, I can see from the way your hairline is that you had an opportunity. I mean, it might have been just a hair high. The bottom line is you got frustrated and you didn't send in the picture because you weren't feeling your best. You weren't looking your best.
No, I sent the picture in. I sent the picture in, Your Honor. And they said that they would give me a call and said, don't call me, I'll call you. That's what they said.
Because of your hairline?
Because of my hairline.
That was that they sent back. Don't call us, we'll call you.
Right.
Okay.
So I missed out on
Okay, Mr. Murray, you feel like you missed out on the job because of the crooked hairline.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is what I feel. And you know, unfortunately, we've had fun laughing about something that at the time was not funny at all. But now, like I said, when things are, you move beyond things, you can kind of laugh and give light. So we can't take ourselves too seriously. The bottom line is, sir, I do not think, from what I saw, that even though your hairline was crooked, you were able to shoot a picture that would have been good enough, right? So that they could see who you are and what you could do. The picture you shot on your phone was not what they were going to use in the campaign. You had time for your hairline to grow in and get the job if you were going to get the job. What I saw and what you said to me was, they said to you, no, we'll call you. They weren't interested in using you.
Correct.
All right. And I know you didn't get the job, but at least you're able to mend a relationship. And you should have let him try to fix that so you felt your best when you sent in the picture. That's a lesson learned for both of you. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I know better than to come back to you as my martyr.
Listen, don't get comfortable. You got too many emotions and that will happen. You emotional.
No, I'm not emotional. You were my brother.
Coming up.
Is it because you felt some jealousy towards the other woman?
I am not jealous about the other woman because we are in a polyamorous relationship. But the house is my house. I had bought that house before my marriage, so it's under my name. We agreed that he move in. We never agreed on somebody else moving.
John Williamson claims he paid for a gazebo at his former partner's home, but was never reimbursed. Alicia Ramirez James says the purchase was completely Mr. Williamson's idea, so she accepted his kind gesture.
This is the case of Williamson versus Ramirez James. Mr. Williamson, you are suing Ms. Ramirez James for $4,700.06 for the cost of home improvements. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Ramirez James, you say that you do not owe plaintiff anything because it was his idea.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, I'd like to start with you, Mr. Williamson. Please tell the court about these home improvements.
The home improvement was a gazebo that we built in the backyard. It was a prefab that was brought right in, fit right in the backyard. It was something that we agreed on. I showed her 3 or 4 different pictures.
Were you all in a relationship? It was your yard?
It was a polyamorous relationship. I was living in their house.
All right, and so who paid for the gazebo?
I did.
So how much did you pay for it?
$4,700.06.
All right, do you have a receipt for that?
I do.
May I see it, please?
I'll take all your evidence, sir.
And so, Ms. Ramirez James, do you dispute any of the plaintiff's testimony thus far?
Thus far, he's correct.
He's correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you do install this prefab gazebo. How does it happen that you go from building a gazebo and home improvements to moving out? What happened?
Well, as I said, we have a polyamorous relationship, and I was seeing somebody else.
Coming up.
I wanted her to move in with me at the house.
you were asked to go ahead and move in, and then you were trying to move another girl in.
Yes.
We're back with a dispute between John Williamson and his former polyamorous partner, Alicia Ramirez James, over the cost of a gazebo.
Ooh, y'all are busy.
Miss Ramirez knew who she was, and that she had been to the house a few times, and her lease was coming up, and she traveled a lot, so in between times, I wanted her to move in with me at the house.
Oh, so you were asked to go ahead and move in, and then you were trying to move another girl in.
Yes, after 2 years, yes.
You weren't happy with that arrangement? You didn't agree to that? Your husband and you didn't want that?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
And why is that so unheard of? What, you seem like that was just too much for him to suggest or ask.
I am not jealous about the other woman because we are in a polyamorous relationship, so we are all allowed to have other partners, and that is totally agreed upon. But the house is my house. I had bought that house before my marriage, so it's under my name. We agreed that he move in. We never agreed on somebody else moving in.
All right, so Mr. Williamson, I'm not sure how you can invite or say you wanted another woman to move into a house where you aren't even on the mortgage and someone is basically having you live there.
I was paying rent, Your Honor.
Did you have a lease?
I did not.
Okay. Did you bring proof of your rent payments?
I did not.
Did he ask you, do you want me to build a gazebo? And you said yes?
You wanted to install that gazebo because you thought it was a great idea and that you would be happy to pay for it.
No, I did not say that. The conversation was organic. We discussed it. You said you would like to have that for entertaining out here.
Did
we
I
built a
ask
fire
you?
pit.
And did I ask you to pay for a gazebo?
You didn't ask me not to pay for
Put a gazebo in my house?
I brought you all the 3 different unique designs of them, and you said, okay, I like this one,
But
and that's
I
the one I
never
got.
told you you have to put a gazebo in my house.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
I cannot find a circumstance where this court would demand that Ms. Ramirez James and her husband be responsible for the financial part of that gazebo. And listen, the reason why I'm struggling to be very honest with you is because it does really feel like they came up. Like they really got a benefit. But at the end of the day, you were paying $1,000 a month.
Yep.
You had no lease. At the drop of a dime, you could just decide you're moving out. That is no expectation. I mean, to be very honest with you, you didn't give any notice. You were able to just move out. You had benefits as well by not being the person on the mortgage, right?
Yes.
So both of you all had benefits in this, and you haven't presented any evidence to this court that would suggest that it was ever an agreement of all of you that you all were going to pay jointly for this gazebo.
And
so for this reason, judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
It is what it is because it's fair.
It's not fair.
Of course you know it's fair.
No, it's not.
You gave it as a gift.
A ring's a gift.
How can
a
you
necklace
come
is
here
a
and
gift.
say it wasn't a
$4,700 gazebo is
she
not a
couldn't-
gift.
You couldn't give her any proof.
Kelly Atwell claims she learned from her vet that the dog she bought wasn't a purebred animal as advertised. Riley Sermons says the dog has the genetic makeup of the designer breed, but offered to pay for the DNA test anyway.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good morning,
This is the case of Atwell versus Sermons. Ms. Atwell, you are suing Mr. Sermons for $4,687.40 for misrepresenting a dog as purebred. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And the defendant, Mr. Sermons, you say that the plaintiff understood the return policy and you offered to do a DNA test.
100%, Your Honor.
All right, I'll start with you, Ms. Atwell. What kind of dog is at issue here?
The issue is that I thought this dog was a purebred Klee Kai, and instead he gave me a mutt and charged me the full price of a purebred.
All right, so how did you find Mr. Sermons?
I found Sermon through an advertisement that I found online because I really wanted a Klee Kai dog.
Can you speak up for me just a little?
Yes. So I wanted a purebred Klee Kai, and it's like the trending dog, you know, and I was looking online and I found him through this website, and he said it was a purebred. It was directly advertised in the advertisement that it was a purebred, and I found out recently. Because
so you reached out to him?
I did reach out.
He sent you pictures or video of the dog, or you went to see the dog?
He brought over the dog, but I saw pictures online through the advertisement. Yes, I did.
All right, so you got a request from Ms. Atwell.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you had how many Klee Kais available?
I had a litter of 7, actually, but this was the only one that hadn't been pre-sold. Most of my dogs are sold months ahead of time.
And how long have you been breeding?
I've been breeding Klee Kai for about 20 years.
Oh, for a long time.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what was the price of the dog?
The price was advertised as $4,527.40, to be exact.
All right, and so you purchased the dog?
I did.
Do you pick the dog up in person, or does he deliver the dog?
He delivered the dog to me.
All right, yes. So when you see the dog, you love the dog?
I love the dog, yeah.
Do you have a picture of the dog?
I do have a picture of the dog.
May I see it?
Yeah, of course.
So you see the dog, you love the dog. What are the problems? Did she express any issues to you, Mr. Sermons?
Absolutely not, Your Honor. And it's very important to me that I hand deliver the dogs myself. I want to make sure that I see the environment that it's going into. Not only is it safe, but that it can take a new
Oh, it's a cute little dog.
Yeah, that's my baby Gucci.
Oh, the dog's name is Gucci?
Yes.
Okay, that's cute. So at what point do you start feeling dissatisfied with the dog, Miss Atwell?
I was not dissatisfied with the dog at all. Like, that's my baby. But it was just brought to my attention because I had to bring him to a vet because, you know, I had to get the rest of his shots. They brought it to my attention that this was not a purebred dog. And I was like, when they told me that, I was furious because I was like, I paid the purebred price. Like, that's not okay. So they recommended I get a DNA test. So I went ahead and did that. Not myself, I administered it myself, but I sent it in. And they told...
Here is the evidence here you submitted. Yeah. He's 84% Alaskan Klee Kai, 10% is it Shiba Inu, and 6% Siberian Husky.
Yes.
And then when you got that, you were really upset.
Yes, I was furious.
Because you thought you had gotten a dog that was a 100% Klee Kai.
Yes, yes.
So did you call Mr. Sermons?
I did call him, yeah, I did.
How did that conversation go?
He just offered to pay me back for the DNA testing.
So, Mr. Sermons, why pay for a DNA test?
Well, Your Honor, I offered to pay for a DNA test because when she told me the situation, I had felt personally responsible, like maybe she had not been fully informed at the time when she purchased the dog. I did at that moment when she called me, did inform her though, that the Klee Kai is a designer dog, meaning that it's taken from several different purebred breeds and bred together for certain characteristics, in this case, the size of the animal, to create what is the Klee Kai. So the other 2 animals in there, the Shiba Inu and the Alaskan Husky, are both part of the makeup of what makes a Klee Kai. So it is a purebred animal, and I felt that maybe I had not completely done my job as the breeder. These are family to me, and so I offered to pay for her DNA test so she wouldn't be out that money.
I don't recall him ever asking me or offering a DNA test. That's why I went and got one on my own. But yeah, I don't remember him offering me that.
And why did you get a DNA test?
Because my vet told me it was not a purebred dog.
Coming up.
How much research did you do on this particular type of dog before you buying one? Or did you just see them all over the internet and think they were cute and I want one?
And later.
You never thought to ask Ms. Hernandez?
No, because she's potty trained, but once I was there, she forced me to use that diaper.
Because accidents happen.
We're back with the case of Kelly Atwell, who brought Riley Sermons to court for not selling her the purebred dog she paid for.
You get upset, you call him, I want my money back.
Yes.
I want my dog.
Yes.
But I want my money back too.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what was your response, Mr. Sermon?
Well, at first I was completely confused. I didn't understand why she was calling me and what her issue was. This is why I explained to her the genetic makeup of the dog and what goes into making them. At that point, I offered to, if she found it necessary, to take the dog back and return her money.
So you offered her a full refund on the dog?
In exchange for the dog back, yes, ma'am.
For the dog back?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But you didn't want that?
It just doesn't make sense for me to give back the dog after, I don't know, it's again, my baby. I wanted the full money.
So he's offering you a full refund,
But
and
I would have to
according
give
to
back
the statement you made to the court, you refused. I don't want it.
Yeah, I didn't want to give back the dog and just get back my money like that. Then
How much research did you do on this particular type of dog before you buying one, or did you just see them all over the internet and think they were cute and I want one?
I did see them all over the internet and think they were cute. I mean, I saw Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas had one, and I was like, okay, yeah, they're cute. I want one.
That's honest. That's honest.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you did a lot of research. Luckily, my staff here did do some research, was able to determine that an Alaskan Klee Kai, right? It actually means, which I thought was interesting, small dog, but it is in fact a mixture of 3 different types of dogs. And that's how, as Mr. Sermon stated, that this breed is created by bringing together multiple breeds. Did you understand that?
I did understand that, but it did show up on the test that it was Klee Kai for 84%. So why would it show up as 84% if it was?
Let's ask the expert. Yeah. Why does her DNA test say Klee Kai 84%, but then Husky, and then the other dog for a small percentage, when Klee Kai should be all 3 breeds?
Well, the test that she used was an AKC given DNA test. Now, the AKC does not recognize the Klee Kai as a breed. The UKC does. And so what they were doing is they were taking the UKC's designation for the Klee Kai and the other dogs that they found in there. Now, if you'd done a UKC test, it would have shown Klee Kai because all those make up the Klee Kai, or it would have split it up separately into the 3 different breeds. Also, the AKC test she took specifically designates right on there that it cannot be used to prove the purebred nature of a dog or even the breed.
Well, that was the next thing I was going to say that my staff discovered, but I just let you talk about it because you are very knowledgeable about these dogs. 20 years with a certain breed of dog. I mean, he knows about the dogs.
Yes, Sean.
And to be very honest with you, as a person who has purchased dogs from breeder before, when people are selling these dogs and they're as expensive as they are, their business, right, is just about word of mouth and the quality of dog that they sell. So if he really did what you said he did, you could basically put him out of business because people wouldn't come to him and trust him to sell them a Klee Kai. What I think happened is exactly what you're saying. You fell in love with the picture of the dog on the internet. That's normal. And you're a young person. You just said, you know what? That's the dog I want because I like the way it looked. We've all done that. But you've got to do a lot more research on dogs. Now, case in point, I love dogs. I love big dogs. I'm one of those people. I love a shepherd. I grew up with a shepherd all my life. When my son wanted a dog, let's get a shepherd. Well, I didn't remember how much shepherds shed. And I'm allergic, but I love dogs. Lord, we've had a mess on our hands, but we love and we're committed to this dog. But even me, right? Judge Lauren Lake didn't stop to say, for a person allergic to dogs, right? When are the shepherds going to shed? How much will it be? I didn't do that because guess what? I just love the dogs because they remind me of the dogs that we had growing up. We do things like that, but we also have to take responsibility when we don't do our due diligence. In this instance, you did not do your due diligence, but guess what you got? An incredible, purebred dog. You just didn't understand the genetics before you purchased it. With that said, this court finds in favor of the defendant. Plaintiff, your claim is dismissed. Court is adjourned. Enjoy your cute little baby.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Well, I feel like it was definitely a just ruling.
I guess.
Coming up,
But she wanted to drain the whole pool, make a huge fuss about it when it was just
so why did you decide you wanted to drain the pool, Miss Jen?
Because it was disgusting. I don't think that, just disinfecting it is enough.
Evelyn Jin claims her pool needs extensive cleaning after a relative's child had an accident in it. Rhea Hernandez says her boyfriend already cleaned the pool thoroughly the day of the incident.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Jen versus Hernandez. Miss Jen, you are suing Miss Hernandez for $650 for pool sanitation costs. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
And the defendant, you say you did your best to resolve this, correct?
That's right, Your Honor.
All right. How do you have an issue regarding your pool, Ms. Jen?
So I moved into my house about 8 months ago. I had a party in July for my daughter, Jenna. She's turning 2. So I sent out invitations with the explicit message, please bring swim diapers. Originally, I didn't invite Rhea, but she's my brother's wife's sister, and my brother's wife insisted that she should come. So I sent her an invitation. Both our daughters are friends. So she shows up, she doesn't have a swim diaper for her daughter, even though it says on the invitation to bring swim diapers.
Why didn't you bring a swim diaper, Ms. Hernandez?
My daughter's been potty trained and she hasn't had any accidents for the 3 months, and then she forces me to use a diaper.
So you assume that meant for children who aren't potty trained?
That's what I assumed.
But it was your intention that it was just for all the kids because it was a 2-year birthday?
Yeah, for all the kids.
2-year-old birthday.
All the kids are under 3 years old. They should all have swim diapers in the pool.
All right, and you never thought to ask Ms. Hernandez?
No, because she's potty trained, but once I was there, she forced me to use that diaper.
Because accidents happen. She's
but
only been potty trained for 3 months.
But if she doesn't use that diaper, she's gonna use that diaper, and there's gonna be accidents. And then the diaper that she gave me was way too small. Your Honor, can I present the diaper she gave me?
Sure.
This is the diaper that she should wear, but this one's the one that she gave me.
Oh, wait, let me see that.
Way
Sean.
too small.
So this is the size your daughter really wears in real life?
Yes.
Coming up.
After about a few minutes, I heard a commotion. Some of the parents were saying there was poop in the pool.
It's because of the small diaper that you gave me.
We're back with a dispute between Evelyn Jin and Rhea Hernandez, who are arguing over pool cleaning costs.
What happens now, Ms. Jen?
So basically, she left her daughter unattended in the pool for 10 minutes.
Unattended?
No,
a 2-year-old?
There was all family around there, and then she also had a life vest on.
This just shows how irresponsible she is.
There were parents in the pool too.
All right, did you let a parent know or a family member know? You had to excuse yourself. Where'd you need to go?
I just needed to just go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, so you just need to go to the restroom.
Yeah.
All right, you're
and
allowed
also
to
my
do that.
sister was there too, Sarah.
So there were plenty of adults you felt like in the area. Did you inform someone that they were in charge of watching your daughter while you went to the restroom?
I just told them, like, can you just watch my daughter real quick? And then I just went to the bathroom.
Then what happened?
Then after about a few minutes, I heard a commotion. Some of the parents were saying there was poop in the pool.
It's because of the small diaper that you gave me.
So bottom line is your daughter had an accident.
Yeah, she had an accident.
She needed to go to the restroom too with you.
Yeah, I guess she did.
So you say you're suing for $650 for pool sanitation costs.
Yeah, so she had her boyfriend come and look at the pool.
Yeah, my boyfriend came. He knows how to clean pools, but it was just wasn't up to standard.
Your boyfriend came back that day, or you brought him the next day?
I brought him that day. I called him.
So that day he came over and he was just like, I can get this out of the pool, and then
he disinfected it, did bleach, but he didn't need to drain the pool. But she wanted to drain the whole pool, make a huge fuss about it when it was just so.
Why did you decide you wanted to drain the pool, Miss Jen?
Because it was disgusting. I don't think that, just disinfecting it is enough. It just felt like a violation. So I wanted to get it completely drained. She offered another service to get it disinfected, about $150.
Oh, so she did offer a service, a cleaning service.
A cleaning
for
service.
$150, but you said...
I would like to get it drained. And drained, cleaned, and then refilled. So that's about $650, and she just doesn't want to pay the $650.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
So, Ms. Hernandez, you have submitted to the court the price to clean and disinfect the pool, which would have been $150.
And I was willing to pay for that.
I'm sorry?
And I was willing to pay for that.
You were willing to pay, and this is from a pool cleaning service. Now, is this the service your boyfriend works for or another service that you called?
This was it was a quote because my boyfriend already cleaned it.
And you offered her this $150 since she wasn't satisfied with what your boyfriend did?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. It's in this court's opinion that you really should have taken that money, and I am going to award you the $150 that it costs to clean and sanitize your pool. Judgment for the plaintiff for $150. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $150.
You're never really watching the kids.
You're just boring. Like you're just boring and just picking on me. Like you have no life.
I'm not. No. You have to be responsible.
No.
Be responsible for your actions.
My baby just had an accident. You're the real party pooper.
Bart Tanner claims his neighbor maliciously trapped his cats and took them to the pound. Lydia Perry claims the neglected cats are feral.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Tanner versus Perry. Mr. Tanner, you are suing Ms. Perry for $1,200. The costs you say are associated with the adoption and sterilization fees you had to pay for your own cats?
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
This woman who is my neighbor, she thinks she can run the neighborhood. She literally took my cats, the cats I love, the cats, these are my family members, Your Honor, and she took my cats, she captured them. She literally trapped them and took them to the pound. When I broke my leg, my girlfriend brought me a cat. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have that cat.
All right, and how did that cat turn into cats?
I adopted Joshua for Rolo so that they could be together, and then Rolo passed away right about when my girlfriend left me, Heather, and so I went and got another cat and adopted Jan so that Joshua would have a friend.
So Jan and Joshua got along really well.
They were pretty close.
All right, so, and from Jan and Joshua came more cats.
Yeah, a pride of cats, Your Honor. They're my family. I was happy to have them. I had no problem with my cats.
And so how does this issue then affect your neighbor?
She's afraid of the cats. They hurt. There's nothing wrong with my cats. She's the problem.
How
she thinks she gets to control everything.
Affect you, Miss Perry?
Your Honor, this man is insane in the membrane. I have lived across the street 5 years now, and at first I thought it was cool that he had cats. I'm a pet lover. I love cats. I love dogs, all sorts of animals. I have a daughter, Lucy. And Lucy is close friends with our neighbor, Devontae. And we thought it cool that Mr. Tanner had nice cats. We love cats. But a little time has gone by, and all of a sudden we've gone up from 1-2 cats to a dozen. It's like a menagerie of beasts. And Josh,
wow, that's a strong statement.
It is, because these are beasts. They're feral cats.
No, they're not. There's
They're
nothing wrong with my
cats.
cats. No, you're the one. You're trapping my cats.
No,
you're chasing
they're
them
full
down.
of mange.
There's nothing wrong with
when
they don't have
Devontae and
mange.
Lucy
All right,
went
let's get
over-
some order. So tell me, I should have asked you what kind of cats they are.
Well, they're just your average tabby mix. They're just
average tabby mix. Average tabby mix of virus.
There's a black cat and I have a tabby, and those two made a bunch of other cats together. I don't.
All right, so Miss Perry, you live across the street.
I do.
So how is it that your property is being affected by these cats?
These cats are everywhere.
No, they're not.
In your property alone or all over the neighborhood?
They're all over the neighborhood. He only keeps Rolo and Joshua inside the home.
They are my family, and you put my family in jail.
You're putting my family in danger.
You're
endangering the neighborhood.
She put them in the pound,
hold
and
on.
they're not hers.
Bit Devontae. He is
in the court. Now, you say she put your cats in jail?
She literally trapped my cats, Your Honor.
What does that mean?
She put them in a box. She lured them in.
I had the Humane Society come and do an inspection because your cats
That was after that. The
everywhere.
Humane Society came to my house and they interviewed me. They checked on my cats and they said there's no problem. They let me know that she made a complaint.
Cats.
I
they
didn't
weren't even
hide the
home when you were there.
And
You
so,
knew that-
hold on, Mr. Tanner, is it true that you only keep 2 of your cats in the home with you?
No, I have a cat door. My cats can come and go as they please because they are free animals and they are happy that way. People who trap their cats in their house, then you have upset, mad, miserable cats. I have happy cats, and she's lying, Your Honor.
You have miserable cats. They're full
I
of
have a
mange.
miserable neighbor who's out of her mind. That's all I
let's
have.
hold on. Let's not get out of hand.
Coming up.
What are the cats doing?
Whenever we have playtime activities or we play a little football or toss ball on the lawn, the cats will attack.
And later.
I had consumed a biscuit that she had prepared, and it cracked and split my molar right in half.
A biscuit cracked a molar?
Yes.
We're back with neighbors Bart Tanner and Lydia Perry, who are fighting over cat adoption fees.
You all getting a little bit out of pocket.
Sorry.
And this is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down. I wanna understand from you. What is your experience living across the street from Mr. Tanner's home with his cats? What were you witnessing and experiencing on your property?
What's happening on my property is that these cats are all over my property. The feral cats.
How many have you seen at one time?
I've seen anywhere from a dozen to 15 cats.
What are the cats doing?
The cats are defecating on my lawn. Whenever we have playtime activities or we play a little football or toss ball on the lawn, the cats will attack.
And so when you had this issue, did you walk over and try to have a conversation with Mr. Tanner? Did you send him an email? What did you do?
I did, Your Honor. I was actually friends with Mr. Tanner's ex-girlfriend. We worked at the same firm. He became a different person after she left. And so I went over with Lucy and Devontae. So what I told Mr. Tanner is that the cats need to be washed. They need to be cleaned. They need to be given their shots. And they need to be spayed and neutered.
Do you have any evidence of what the cats were doing in your neighborhood, on your property?
I do. I have pictures.
Can I please see them? Thank you, Sean. All right, so these are the cats. So we've got cats on the car, cats on the side of the house. These are just 2 cats. Do you have pictures of the 10 to 15 cats you described?
Not with me today, Your Honor.
So you came to court to complain about the cats and say that you had to do what you needed to do to get rid of them, but you don't have any evidence that they were there.
I did not want to get close to these feral beasts, close enough to take pictures of them, no.
All right, Mr. Tanner, what happened?
So, first of all, I didn't know what was happening, but my cats were disappearing. And I do have a lot of cats. I panicked. I went out and I got a door camera and I put it up. And that's when I discovered that she was literally hunting down my cats and stealing them so she could take them to the pound.
How would you say she was hunting them down, Mr. Tanner?
Well, she was setting traps. She would take a cat carrier, and then she put catnip in the cat carrier and maybe some food, I presume. And then the cats would go to that, and then she would come up and close it and take them to her car.
Were you doing that, Miss Perry?
I was.
And why?
He's been neglecting these animals.
I care for my cats.
You've been neglecting them. You treat them like property.
Your Honor, let me tell you something right now, Your Honor.
Full of mange.
This toy, prior to her taking Miles in to the pound, loved that toy.
Listen. So you're saying the cats were captured, and then what, you went to get them back?
I had to go pick them up, and I
what
literally had to pay money to get them back. And she caused them to sterilize my cats, Your Honor. I had to pay money. I had to pay money for the adoption fee for my own cats, which is
Spaying and
insane.
neuter. You have to spay and neuter
No, you
feral
don't.
cats.
Cats are free animals to live the way they should.
Mr. Tanner,
That's
direct your testimony to me.
It's not her decision. whether or not my cats should be spayed, excuse me, Your Honor, or neutered. I have
All right.
allergies.
What evidence do you have?
So this is
Please turn in the evidence. Let me see what you have. This is the receipt. 7 cats and 7 sterilization fees. You also brought a video.
Yes.
I'd like to see that. What does this video show?
This
Mr.
is
Tanner?
Miles prior to going to the pound, where he was absolutely terrified when he came home. The next video is what he's like after I brought him home from the pound. This is what she did to my cat, Your Honor. She's broken Miles. He's afraid of everything. He used to be the fun, amazing, joyful cat. Just spending a few days in the pound turned him into this.
Your Honor, he was filthy before we brought him into the Humane Society.
And now he's fearful of the toy.
And everything.
He's afraid of you.
Your testimony is that he was traumatized by this experience.
He was ruined. He's absolutely devastated after spending a few days in the pound and they cut off his stuff, Your Honor. It's not her job to make sure my cat doesn't have testicles.
I've heard enough. This is an interesting issue because, again, knowing the nature of cats, no, they do not like to be contained. They operate differently from dogs. But the problem is, Mr. Tanner, having them roam all the way through the neighborhood and constantly be in other people's yards is problematic. Just because you love to see your cats roam and be free and enjoy their life doesn't mean that another person wants your animals in their yard roaming free, defecating, sitting on top of the car. That is a problem. And it is your responsibility to keep the cat safe. I do think Ms. Perry felt like she had no other recourse, and it is for that reason it has been the determination of this court that the judgment will be for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
The pride cometh before the fall.
What the hell are you talking about?
You're just out of your mind.
Get off the catnip, bro.
You're a psycho.
You may exit the courtroom now.
Coming up.
There is no way I'm responsible for what happened to Mr. Leem's tooth because he was eating other food from the festival as well. And they were smoking weed and being rowdy.
Liam Johnson claims he cracked his tooth while eating a vegan biscuit from a food stand at a music festival. Cynthia Smith claims the plaintiff was rowdy, high, and is just seeking a large payday.
Good day, everyone. Good day. Mr. Johnson, you're suing Ms. Smith for personal injury damages. You say you sustained while eating some of her food?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're suing in the amount of $4,500 today.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
During my 25th birthday celebration, some friends and I had visited the Alabama Music Blues Festival. We were looking for something to eat that was vegan. We passed by Mrs. Smith's vendor stand, and while eating that food, I had consumed a biscuit that she had prepared, and it cracked and split my molar right in half.
A biscuit cracked a molar?
Yes. At the time, there were some drinks consumed, so it did not feel as worse as it later would have felt.
Was this like a food truck?
Yes, it was.
All right, so did you go back over to the food truck?
Yes, only to find that there was just a huge line wrapped around the corner. So in order to not stop the festivities, I knew I couldn't speak with her immediately, so I went with my friends onto the next show so that we could, keep my birthday celebration rolling.
Ms. Smith, do you remember Mr. Johnson buying the biscuit, the vegan biscuit and gravy from your food truck?
It's not my food truck, so let me rephrase that. I was working there on this particular day.
All right, so you don't own the food truck?
I do not own the food truck, but I was there working, and I was serving my, very famous biscuits and gravies like I do. I make sure that everything is clean. And when I'm shifting the flour, I check it very carefully.
Do you work alone?
I work alone.
So there was no one else
There's no one there. There's no one involved. I shift the flour carefully, as I mentioned, to make sure there is no foreign objects.
Are you baking the biscuits?
I'm baking them right there on the food truck.
Ah, okay.
Coming up.
No telling him what he was eating on. You know, you get the munchies when you smoke
Your
weed,
Honor,
so
Were you
start.
smoking weed, Mr. Johnson?
No, only drinks.
We're back with the case of Liam Johnson, who blames Chef Cynthia Smith for his broken tooth.
So it is your testimony that there is no possible way that anything hard
There
could
is
have been.
no way I'm responsible for what happened to Mr. Liam's tooth because he was eating other food from the festival as well. And I seen it because they sit very close to my stand and they were smoking weed and being rowdy and being loud.
You say for a fact you saw him indulging
Eating other,
in
yes.
other foods as well.
Exactly. And there are other foods there that can cause your tooth to be cracked.
Well, I hope no food caused your molar to be broken, but
I don't know the
Mr.
way this young
Johnson,
man take care of his
Did you
teeth.
eat from any other food stand?
Your Honor, what she calls rowdy?
First of all, I asked you a question, so talk to me.
No, Your Honor, I did not.
You know, you get the munchies when you smoke
Your
weed,
Honor,
so
Were you
start.
smoking weed, Mr. Johnson?
No, only drinks.
Perhaps that tooth was cracked unbeknownst to you. And when you bit down on the food, the way you went to chew, then broke your tooth. Did you bring any evidence at all?
I actually did.
All right, let me see that. Sean, will you bring that to me, please?
Right here, the doctor's reference. It's the second line from the bottom.
The dentist told me that I would have had to bite down on something or a hard object to cause such a deep crack in the crown and split the remaining tooth that I would need an extraction and dental implant. Okay, number one, this is what the dentist said. Do you have where the dentist put that in writing?
At the moment, I don't.
This is what you said. I want to know what the dentist said.
I wasn't able to retrieve that document.
How were you not able to retrieve the document when you have a suit for $4,500 and you know you're going to say and base your entire suit on what the dentist said?
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Now, you also had drinks, I presume on a hot day.
And marijuana.
They might have had ice in them. Did you chew any ice? We don't know what you ate that day, and the problem is, even if the dentist wrote it and said, this tooth, and you had evidence that said this tooth could not have been broken but for him biting on something, when was it? Was it at your breakfast? Was it at your lunch? Was it at the fair? Was this tooth already broken before because of something else you ate, and then when you bit down on this biscuit, then it broke? Just face the facts that unfortunately, this is terrible, and I hate that you had this happen to you. A broken tooth is no fun, but you just haven't proved your case, sir. Therefore, it has been determined by this court, judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise. Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed. Ellie Young claims dirty makeup brushes at a photo shoot gave her a nasty case of pink eye. Avery Torres says the plaintiff has no one to blame but herself and is countersuing for slander.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Sean. Good day, everyone. This is the case of Young versus Torres. Ms. Young, you are suing Ms. Torres in the amount of $1,760 for medical expenses and lost wages.
Yes.
What happened?
I recently worked with makeup artist Miss Avery Torres on set. On set, she used contaminated and unsanitized, unsanitary makeup brushes, and from which I contracted pink eye, a very severe case of pink eye.
Oh, my
I had to
goodness.
go to the hospital. Yes, so I incurred medical expenses. I could not work for 3 weeks, had to decline multiple job offers. I am suing her for the compensation.
So, Ms. Torres, Ms. Young has just asserted that you don't sterilize your brushes as a professional. Is that true?
No, Your Honor, it's not true, and
What's
she
your
knows
response
it's not
to her
true.
claim?
My response is I am countersuing for slander because of your false accusations. She took it upon herself to go onto social media, tell the world that no one should ever hire me again, and because of that, I lost a 5-day gig that was paying me $350 a day. I lost $1,750 because of her accusations that were false.
Take me to that day. How is it that you come to realize that the brushes are not sanitized? Were you, as she was working on you, were you watching the fact that she was using them on other people?
So we started shooting, and we had a 15-minute break to get our heads back in the groove and do touch-ups. So Ms. Torres was doing touch-ups on all the models. She went around, I watched her with the same makeup brushes, including myself. That is not proper procedure for a makeup artist on set. They are meant to use different makeup brushes or sanitize the brushes in between models.
Ms. Torres, were you going model to model to model with the same brush?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
Yes.
That is a
Yes,
bold-faced
she was.
lie,
Yes,
and you know
she
it.
was.
Do you have proof of that?
Ask anyone on set, and I saw it.
Why didn't you report her on the set? Why'd you wait till you got pink eye?
Because we were doing a job. I had to keep doing the job. It
No,
seemed
you didn't.
unprofessional to take the time to do that.
That would be risking your safety if you allowed a makeup artist to use unsanitary brushes for the entire day, and you as a seasoned actress knew that.
Yes, Your Honor, perhaps I should have stopped and brought her improper, unsanitary use of the brushes to someone's attention, but I just
My
wanted to
brushes
do a
weren't
good
unsanitary.
job.
I know how you got
I just
pink eye.
wanted,
It wasn't the
excuse me,
brushes.
I'm
Your
speaking
Honor,
right
I
now.
know
Please
how
do
she
not
got pink
override
eye.
me.
It
I just
was
wanted
not
to
the
do a good
brushes.
job.
All right,
and I felt
one at a time.
rushed. So we were on break, and I just wanted to do a good job, and I felt rushed. And I
Tell her
knew
what you
that
did on
time
break.
is money on set.
Time is money, right? But an injury that you're saying you suffered, that's your time and your money. Because you have
Absolutely
to
it
heal
is, yes.
and lose money to do that. So if you see someone doing something unsanitary that could cause harm to you or other members of the team, and you are the seasoned actor, or even if you didn't want to necessarily, get her in trouble, did you say to her ever, hey, don't use the same brushes on everyone?
I let her know the next day. I went to the hospital where I was diagnosed with a pink eye. And by the way, I do have a photo of the evidence of pink eye. Would you like to? Thank
Your Honor,
you,
I know
thank
how
you.
she got that pink eye, and I can tell you.
And I sent her a text
Let's get
message.
some order. Let's get some order. Both of you talking at the same time.
Thank
I
you.
can't hear both of
Sorry,
you at the
Your
same
Honor.
time. Let me look at the evidence first. This is your eye, pink, obviously.
Severe case, yes.
And you say this developed the day after you had your makeup done by Miss Torres.
Yes, I went to sleep and woke up, and I could barely open my eye, my left eye. It was crusty.
Yeah, because you went into
I
my
couldn't
bag and
see.
stole eyeliner from my bag. Did she tell you that part, Your Honor?
She
No.
did not tell me
No.
that part. Miss Torres, what is your assertion?
So when we were doing the shoot, the photographer made it very clear to me that he did not want eyeliner on the models. That was not the look he's going for, which makes sense because it's a photographer's shoot, so they can say what they'd like to do. She told me that she wanted eyeliner. I made it very clear that that's not what the photographer wanted, and she was very unhappy about that. In fact, when we got onto set and we were shooting, she was having a meltdown, saying that
I
she
was not
couldn't.
having a
You were saying that you
meltdown.
couldn't
That
get in
is
the
an
zone,
accusation. I was not
unlike the
having
other
a
models,
meltdown at
because
all.
you didn't like
You can
how
ask
you
anyone
looked.
on set.
Yeah, let
One
me
at a
finish.
time.
Okay. So the director thought it would be a great idea if we all took a break. During that break, I went to the bathroom. When I came back from the bathroom, my makeup bag was open with eyeliner right outside of it. At first, I didn't think anything of it, but then I saw her come out of the bathroom with eyeliner on, so I knew it was obviously her. And I went up to her afterwards, actually, and I told her, I said, using eyeliner that's been on someone else isn't sterile. That's why I wasn't using it on any of the models. And it wouldn't have been an issue if she hadn't gone in my personal belongings, taken out makeup without my permission, and put it on herself, which is just unheard of in this business. For someone who's been doing this for 15 years.
Oh, so you're admitting you went in her bag and got the eyeliner?
Absolutely.
Coming up.
The kit is for professional use for the working models right then. If I thought they were personal belongings, that's one thing. But these are personal belongings.
Listen. When I'm talking, neither of you speak.
Sorry, Your Honor.
And later.
He gave me an inspection from his own mechanic, and it said, that everything was fine, all the boxes were checked. I wanted to just move forward with the vehicle, but then he had to bring up, which was very awkward for me. He said, "Oh yeah, I knew you in high school, and you stood me up."
We're back with a dispute between Ellie Young and Avery Torres over a nasty eye infection.
It can't be very common for you to go in a professional makeup artist kit on your own without asking them.
The kit is for professional use for the working models right then. If I thought they were personal belongings, that's one thing. But these are personal belongings.
Listen. When I'm talking, neither of you speak.
Sorry, Your Honor, sorry.
Has anybody else said they got pink eye from the brush that you said she was using?
I haven't been in contact with them. As far as I know, they have not. But the eyeliner was necessary, and it is It is common to go into.
Says you.
Because those are professional kits.
Was that in a bag?
It was in a bag, yes. It was in a bag for
zip
set
bag.
use. For the set,
Did you
for the
have
shoot.
to unzip the bag and get to it?
I did, yes. Because this is her makeup that she's using on all of us.
My makeup.
And
No.
anyway, this is my look, eyeliner. I'm booked for that. This
You're
is
a
why I
model.
work so
You do
often.
what the director
My
wants.
eyes.
Ladies. Now, Miss Young, I don't know why you up in here trying to act like a brush gave you pink eye.
Because it did.
When you are admitting you went in a zipped bag and used an eyeliner that you cannot confirm had been sterilized.
Perhaps I should have done that, but I just felt like it was proper to just continue on and let the shoot go on and just do my best.
And
on the
also
job.
go into zip bags and use eyeliners that you did not ask permission
Like
to
I said,
use.
eyeliner is my look. This is what I'm booked
Did you
for.
bring
If
your
you see,
own?
I have it on
If
today.
you get
This is my
booked
look.
for eyeliner, did you bring your own eyeliner?
I did not bring my own eyeliner, but I got booked for my look. I was told not to bring any makeup. I was told to show up bare face. I asked the photographer beforehand. He said he had one of his best makeup artists.
Now, see, this is
Not
where,
true.
Miss Young, I think I understand why you won't stop talking. Because I think it's because you think if you overtalk the situation, I will somehow understand your position, even though it was absolutely wrong.
Oh, but
No, it was. There is no
it was
reason
not.
to go in a zipped bag of anyone's, anywhere, on set
This
or
is her
off.
professional
Stop
tools.
talking. There is no reason. The moment you unzipped that bag and took that eyeliner out, you played at your own risk.
No, I
Yes,
disagree. I
you
disagree.
did. But
that
guess
kit
what?
is there
Guess
to
what?
be used. For,
Guess what?
You know, I made
Guess
the shoot
what?
better by putting the eyeliner on.
Guess
It brought it. We didn't have another
what?
break. We shot.
Miss Young, you're not going to convince me.
This is the truth. I'm speaking the truth.
You're speaking your truth, which is unfortunately not what this court deems to be credible. You wasting everybody's time.
No, I totally disagree.
No. Yes, you
Look,
are.
She practices
Miss
improper
Young,
procedures.
I'm done
She
with
could
you.
harm
I'm
other
done
people.
with you talking. I'm done with you talking. You went in the bag. You unzipped the bag. You used an eyeliner that she said she did not have a chance to sterilize because she used it the night before. And because of that, you got yourself in a world of trouble. And instead of just learning that lesson and taking that lesson, you want to blame it on someone that did the professional thing by having the eyeliner zipped up. It is for that reason the judgment is for the defendant for $1,750 because I know you put the post up to be spiteful.
No,
so therefore
she should have
you
labeled it as
You told everyone not to hire me.
Who knows, maybe
this
all
is
of her-
my
all of her
livelihood.
kids
This is my
are
job. It's not a
sterilized.
joke.
All of her brushes, all of her eyeliner,
Ladies.
sterilized.
You're wrong. You should not have made a post that was that irresponsible, that could affect her livelihood when you had no reason to be sure whether it was the brush or the eyeliner, and considering the fact that pink eye occurs within the eye. So therefore, the judgment is for the defendant for $1,750. You pay her and stay out of other people's things. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff owes $1,750.
Hope you've learned a lesson.
You know what?
Now you know
you
better.
got away with something.
For someone
and you know
so
you did.
seasoned, you
are
don't even
so
know that you're not supposed to go through people's
you
bags.
Speak
Okay, well, the
unprofessionally.
judge thinks differently,
You know,
so
who knows
keep
who else
going,
you're going to contaminate.
Keep ruining people's careers.
Coming up.
He gave me an inspection from his own mechanic, and it said, that everything was fine, all the checks, all the boxes were checked. I wanted to just move forward with the vehicle, but then he had to bring up, which was very awkward for me. He said, "Oh yeah, I knew you in high school, and you stood me up."
Susan McDaniels claims her former classmate sold her a lemon because she stood him up in high school. Donald Rodriguez says the car worked fine and was sold as is.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of McDaniels versus Rodriguez. Ms. McDaniels, you are suing Mr. Rodriguez for $9,700. You say he sold you a car that was already damaged. Is that correct?
Yes.
What happened?
So I was in the market for a vehicle, and I went online, and I saw a post that the defendant had put up. It was a 2016 Honda. He gave me an inspection from his own mechanic, and it said, that everything was fine, all the boxes were checked. So I was under the impression that it was a fine car.
Okay.
Then I wanted to just move forward with the vehicle, but then he had to bring up, which was very awkward for me. He said, "Oh yeah, I knew you in high school, and you stood me up."
What did that have to do with anything, Mr. Rodriguez?
It was harmless. I swear there was nothing.
And so you had a car for sale, 2016 Honda.
Yes, ma'am.
And you decided to buy it.
Yes, I decided
That day
to do
or
it.
another day?
That day.
So you paid him $9,000.
Correct.
So you negotiated a little bit.
No, I paid the $9,000. The $9,700 that I'm in pursuant of is for the damage that was already done to the vehicle that I had to then pay for to fix.
So tell me what happens. You paid $9,000. That's what he was asking for. What happens to the point where it breaks down?
I'm in my driveway and I go to turn the ignition and it flutters a little bit. So there's like this hesitation between the car turning on and like actually the engine running. I called him a lot and he did not call me back. I have to call my mechanic, and so he comes and we tow the truck to my mechanic at Conway Auto Body.
There was an issue with the starter. I see this here.
Yes, exactly. The starter was dead.
So you paid $700 for that?
Yes, I needed a car to get around to and from work. I needed it to just get done, so I paid for it, and we got the starter installed.
Mr. Rodriguez, did you know there was something wrong with the starter when you sold Ms. McDaniels the car?
Your Honor, I have a mechanic. He did a full diagnostic on the car, and there was nothing wrong with the car. So this is news for me.
Coming up.
I text him and I say, "Hello, I have installed a new starter into this car because it is damaged and now I have to fix it. I want to just give this car back and get my money back."
We're back with former classmates Susan McDaniels and Donald Rodriguez, who are fighting over a defective car.
The issue with the starter happened how many days after you left from his house?
Well, the next day the flutter began, and then 2 weeks is when it actually died. But my mechanic did let me know that there are signs before this happens, that there's fluttering, there's gears turning, there's ticking, there's smoking sometimes, there's evidence before this happens.
Do either of you have the actual bill of sale or the receipt? Were you selling this car as is, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a bill of sale or any type of receipt?
We do have that it's as is.
All right, so you know that he was selling the car as is?
I do, but I was under a false impression because that checklist is not accurate. There was a problem with this starter and it's been going on long before these 2 weeks span.
So you have a diagnostic report from your mechanic that basically says that everything is in working order on the car.
Yes, ma'am.
So when she calls you and says something's going on with the starter, what do you say?
I'm going to be honest with you. I reached out to her and I told her my mechanic can look at it for free, no charges or anything, and she'd rather go with her mechanic, so that kind of got me a little suspicious.
Okay, so once I install that starter, then I text him and I say, "Hello, I have installed a new starter into this car because it is damaged and now I have to fix it. I want to just give this car back and get my money back." And then he proceeds to text me back and say, "Sorry, who is this again?" Pretends to not know me.
I wasn't pretending.
After he said he knew you from high school?
Yes.
I wasn't pretending.
So you thought he was being shady? You thought he was trying to avoid you?
Absolutely. Honestly, I think he sold me this car because he knew it was me, because I stood him up in high school.
Your Honor.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Willing to take it over to his mechanic, you could have got him to put the starter in.
I understand that,
And then
Your
you
Honor.
wouldn't be here.
The thing is, after I got the starter in, then that next day, there was Christmas lights all over my car with the check engine light and the steering fluid light and the oil light. I didn't know what else was going to happen to this
Ms.
vehicle.
McDaniels, I hate to tell you that, but this story you just told in court is unbelievable. There is no car that needs a starter that the next time it's Christmas lights. But the fact that this car all of a sudden one day needs a starter and then the next day everything else is broken on it is almost unbelievable. However, if that did happen to you, I'm sorry, because under the law, if he sells a car as is, then that's what it is. Unfortunately, I have to dismiss your claim today. and my judgment is for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is dismissed. Kelvin Mayhorn claims his pastor seduced his wife away from him instead of providing marital guidance. Pastor Marcus Hatton claims it was the plaintiff's wife who did all the seducing.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Mayhorn versus Hatton. Mr. Mayhorn, you are suing Mr. Hatton for $10,000 for alienation of affection because you say he had inappropriate relations with your wife. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Please explain.
I have been a member of the church where the pastor, Marcus Hatton.
Pastor? Oh.
For the past 7 years. I met the love of my life there. And I knew once we met that Marcus would be the one to officiate our wedding. About 3 years into our marriage, we started having a few problems because I had some medical issues, we were struggling financially, and we both being leaders in the church decided we need to go see our pastor for counseling. Marcus suggested that we do counseling individually before we came together to do something collaborative. So we both agreed. About 3 weeks later, I did notice that she started to seem a little bit happier, you know, better spirits. And
you thought it was working.
I thought it was working. And then a little while later, she came to me saying that she wanted to go down to Greenwood to be with her mother for the weekend. So I'm thinking, okay, baby, do what you got to do. Well, not long after that, I'm at the church going over some financial issues with the church secretary, and she hands me an invoice with my name on it for a hotel in Greenwood the same time that my wife was down there. She says Marcus gave it to her.
Wait a minute. So you found out through some church records that the church secretary gave you.
Yes, ma'am.
That your pastor had been
yes, ma'am.
Away with your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hatton, what do you say to this?
Well,
you took advantage of the couple seeking counseling?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, I want to apologize for being in your court today. I've been a pastor for 25 years serving the community. The deacon here and his wife are members of my congregation. Him and his wife came to me for counseling. Now, I do know the preacher, I do know the deacon, and he kind of has a little rigid personality. So I assume that we're going to have problems considering the fact that we can't get
you can't keep your Johnson and your Brook brothers,
we
brother.
Can't get any words
Okay, Mr. Mayhorn. Are you denying that you had
No, I'm not
sex
denying
with his
it,
wife?
but there's an explanation for everything.
So you're not denying it?
I'm not.
You're admitting it?
I admit it.
You said there's an explanation.
There's an explanation.
What could that be, Pastor?
Well, I'm a pastor, but I am a heterosexual man. So his wife would come into these private sessions dressing very provocatively. So yeah, she caught my attention and she was flirting with me.
She is a deaconess of the church. You've seen her before that.
This is true. This is true. And this is where it comes to my apologizing for that. Also, I would have to say that I talked to the man upstairs and I begged him to understand that I saw the wrongs in my ways and please forgive me. And knowing that I am a pastor and that he is a member of my congregation, I want to do right. So I'm here saying that I am agreeing with him in terms of that, but I'm not going to, this is not him. It's his wife, Your Honor. It's that Jezebel is the reason I'm here.
You narcissistic, gaslighting son of a biscuit eater. Stop it.
Hold on. Mr. Mayhorn.
Is that the way you talk to your pastor?
You not my pastor.
Or you talk to your friend that way?
You're not my pastor. You're not a friend.
Oh, of course I'm not your pastor. Because you do not alter my congregation anymore.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order. So, Pastor Hatton,
yes,
you are agreeing and you are admitting that you had a sexual relationship with Mr. Mayhorn's wife.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up.
And if you had any problem with anything that I did, you could have came to me. We wouldn't been here today.
Pastor Hatton,
Yes, ma'am.
you're not giving no sermon in here, and you definitely not yelling at no women. So bring it down a notch.
And later.
Did you make a promise? Did you all discuss anything about when you would contribute to household expenses?
Monetary compensation, no, not once actually. It was never brought up for me to pay rent. She offered if I could live there, and I was very grateful. So I decided that I would basically clean and help out, do what I
We're back with the case of Deacon Kelvin Mayhorn, who blames Pastor Marcus Hatton for breaking up his marriage.
He is suing you for alienation of affection.
Whatever
Why
that
should
means.
you?
How can he sue me for something that I didn't do to him personally?
Your Honor,
He needs to sue his wife.
It's called alienation of
Well,
affection.
man, he needs to sue his
He
wife. I
says
didn't force her to have sex with me.
Well, but you were a party to it. Go back to how you found out about this, Mr. Mayhorn. How did you figure all this out?
I was working with the church secretary, Miss Betty Jones. She handed me an invoice showing that with my name on it. I do have it here for your records.
I'd like to see it.
Miss Jones?
Can you give me all your evidence that you brought to court, please?
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the hotel bill?
That's also my food delivery bill because subsequently my wife left me. She told me she didn't want to be married with me anymore. So now I got to cook for myself. I got to clean my own house.
So you don't know how to cook and clean?
You know what? Your mama.
All right, do you have any evidence for me, sir?
Evidence in terms of what, ma'am?
Evidence that you bring to court to prove your case.
This is my word against. I already admitted that I had relations with his wife.
That's exactly right. But you said a Jezebel spirit? I thought you might have brought in something
we can
to
get
prove,
into that.
to
We
prove
can
that
definitely.
you were not intentional in this. Because if you intentionally came between him and his wife, that's the basis for alienation of affection.
Well,
And now your witness is standing. I'd like to hear from her, Mr. Mayhorn. State your name for the record, ma'am.
Yes. My name is Betty Jones.
Hello, Ms. Jones. What would you like to add to this?
I would like to add that I have been the church secretary for over 25 years. Nothing comes to the church I will not see.
Okay.
So I was taken aback when this receipt came to the church, and I knew Mr. Mayhorn had not been away. The receipt was in his name, and I knew the pastor had been away.
Okay, stop. I want to understand this. You saw a receipt. Whose name was on the receipt?
The name on the receipt was Mr. Mayhorn.
Okay, so how did you come to realize that the pastor was responsible for this receipt?
Because he gave it to me.
Oh.
And I had already had an inkling that something was transpiring between the pastor and
you know, I
Mr.
can give you
Mayhorn's
just one
wife.
receipt. You are the church secretary, so you are in charge of all the receipts. And if you had any problem with anything that I did, you could have came to me. We wouldn't been here today.
Pastor Hatton,
Yes, ma'am.
you're not giving no sermon in here, and you're definitely not yelling at no women. So bring it down a notch.
Yes, ma'am.
It was impossible for me to go to him because I had already done something amiss myself. I had been in a relationship with the pastor.
Oh, so this is jealousy.
And he promised to me that I was the only person. But when I found out I wasn't the only person, I was highly perturbed.
Well, listen, Betty, if you're going to tell the truth, tell the whole truth. The only reason you said anything to this man is because you were jealous.
No.
Because I was with his wife and not with you.
No.
Be honest.
The church secretary just said, not only are you sleeping with the deacon's wife, you were sleeping with her too. And you didn't deny it.
Don't deny any of it.
What kind of pastoring are you doing?
Well, I'll say this. I'm not the first pastor you heard anything like that about.
Actually, you are. This is an easy case. Right?
Easy in
because
terms
you've
of...
admitted that you slept with his wife.
Yes.
And under the law, you intentionally do that when you know they're married. You even knew their marriage was going through a bit of a rocky time. They came to you for help, for counsel. And instead, I always say this, do not seek counsel under the covers. And that's exactly where you led Ms. Mayhorn. And it is for that, It is for that reason, I'm done hearing from you. It is for that reason, it has been determined by this court that we are ruling in favor of the plaintiff for $10,000. Pay it. And if I were you, I would step down as pastor. I don't think this is a role you take seriously or you value, and God don't like ugly. Court is adjourned.
All rise. Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $10,000.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, but today is the day of recompense. You giving up the money, chump. You giving up the money, chump. You giving up the money, chump.
You may now exit the courtroom. You may now exit the courtroom.
Coming up.
So you say it's a different story. Do you feel like you do owe her for the plane ticket?
No, because she gave it to me. I did say I would pay her back.
That's not what you just said.
Renee Wilson claims that getting conned to buy a flight for her former roommate was the last straw. April Garcia says her friend used miles to buy the ticket, so it was essentially free.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Wilson versus Garcia. Ms. Wilson, you are suing Ms. Garcia for $8,300. You say it's the cost of a flight and 6 months' rent while you live together. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please explain to the court what happened.
We'd been dating for 2 months before I asked her to move in. She was about to be evicted from her apartment, and so I asked her to move in with me. She was also trying to be a YouTuber. So she moved in with me, wasn't paying any rent, and the plane ticket was from when she went home to see her dad for her birthday.
So hold on, when you move in, what was the agreement?
So we did not discuss the exact amount of rent that would end up being paid. The idea was just when she was able to contribute, she would.
Did she ever contribute?
Financially, no.
All right, so Ms. Garcia, do you remember Ms. Wilson saying, yes, you can come live with me till you get on your feet?
Mm-hmm.
Did you make a promise? Did you all discuss anything about when you would contribute to household expenses?
Monetary compensation, no, not once actually. It was never brought up for me to pay rent. She offered if I could live there, and I was very grateful. So I decided that I would basically clean and help out, do what I could because I couldn't do the rent part, right?
Did she clean and do things around the house, Ms. Wilson?
In the beginning. And then once she started to become more successful, she stopped doing that gradually.
Once I finally had a piece of success, I didn't have as much time as I could. And I thought, since she worked long hours, she would understand I didn't have as much time to clean.
And just to be clear, she was never added to the lease?
No, she was never on the lease. I have the lease.
I'd like to see that, please.
Of course.
Coming up.
At a time, I said I would pay her back, yes, but then she just said, okay.
All right, well, she's asking now.
We're back with a dispute between former roommates Renee Wilson and April Garcia over back rent and a plane ticket.
And then tell me about the plane ticket.
So it was when she went to visit her father for his birthday. When she was there, they got into a huge argument. She missed her flight and the 2 flights she was supposed to get on, and she was panicking. And so I bought her a ticket, and using my miles and also my own personal money, she said she would pay me back when she made it big.
All right, so the value of the ticket was what, $800?
Yes.
But she used her flight miles, so she didn't play with her own money.
That is still my own money.
That's
miles
still
are...
an $800 value, even though you use your miles. You came out of pocket for $200 of it, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, did you tell her, Ms. Garcia, that help me buy this plane ticket and I'll pay you back when I make it big?
I did not. She offered. That's why I thought it was a very grateful and wonderful thing for her to do. I didn't know she'd be asking for it back 6 months later.
Well, no, in the texts that are also part of evidence, you said you would pay me back.
I said I would pay you back.
You said, I knew you could do it. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. You know I'm going to contribute more once I make it.
Yes. I have not made it yet. I don't have enough money to be giving and paying back. If she had just asked, hey, pay me back now, then maybe it would be a different story.
Oh, so if she had asked, you would have paid her back something?
If she had asked at a time, I said I would pay her back, yes. But then she just said, okay, okay.
All right, well, she's asking now. Why can't you pay anything?
Because I do not owe her 6 months rent. That was never agreed for. The plane ticket is a different story. The 6 months rent, we had an
let's
agreement.
talk about the story about the plane ticket. So you say it's a different story. Do you feel like you do owe her for the plane ticket?
No, because she gave it to me. I did say I would pay her back.
That's not what you just said.
I'm just saying it's a bit late to be asking for it now.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Are you able to help her at all since she helped you when you were struggling?
I was trying to help by giving some advice and consoling because I had been there scrimping and saving. And over the phone, I expressed that I'm so sorry.
So what you're basically saying, Ms. Garcia, you're not willing to give up a dime for her?
Not for the 6 months rent.
Okay, so what are you willing to pay?
Well, the only thing that you bought with your own money was the plane ticket, the $200.
I just was gonna let you keep talking and talking and talking until you just say in open court, which you just did, that really you do know that you should have paid her back for that plane ticket. You do know that. Now, you also probably should have contributed for some of the time that you lived at the apartment. The only problem, Ms. Wilson, is that you allowed her to come live with you with absolutely no written explanation of the terms between you. She wasn't added to your lease agreement in any way. This is a problem. The good news is that in open court, Ms. Garcia pretty much said, I owe her for that plane ticket. Therefore, judgment for the plaintiff for $800, the amount of the plane ticket. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $800. Lauren Williams claims she sent her son to a neighborhood birthday party and he came home with a dental emergency. Sasha Brenner claims the plaintiff's son was misbehaving and no one else got hurt.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated. Thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good morning. This is the case of Williams versus Brenner. Ms. Williams, you are suing Ms. Brenner for $1,850 for an emergency dental bill. You had to pay dental fees for your son's teeth. They were knocked out at a birthday party.
Yes.
All right, tell the court what happened.
My son went to her daughter's birthday party and she provided a very unsafe environment. He got injured, and I want her to pay the bills for it.
How old was she turning?
6.
All right, so 6-year-old birthday party. How old is your son, Miss Williams?
He is also 6.
All right, 6 years old. How do they know one another?
We live in the same neighborhood.
All right, so you're neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
So you take your son to the party. What happens?
My son went on his own to the party.
Oh, because it's inside of a neighborhood. What did he do? Ride his bike?
He just walked there.
Oh, just walked. Oh,
yeah.
Where was the party being held?
Just the communal park area.
In a neighborhood?
Yeah.
Your son just walks over to the birthday party?
Yes.
So how do you find out about his injuries?
When he got home, his 2 teeth were knocked out. I guess he went down the slip and slide.
Which teeth? Did you bring evidence?
Yes, I do have
Let me see that, please.
a picture of his teeth.
Thank you. There you are.
So this is the picture of his teeth. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Ew, that looks like it hurts.
Yes.
All right, so you come home and your son's teeth look like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens? You immediately go, what?
I immediately took him to the dentist. They had to do root canals and put in dental implants.
And so at some point, do you call Ms. Brenner and say, what happened?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
So, Ms. Brenner, I want to come to you. You had the birthday party for your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Williams' son's teeth get knocked out.
Unfortunately.
Why didn't anybody call her to say, hey, your son had a little accident over here, something happened?
Well, me and one of the moms actually walked Max back over to his house and made sure that we found Miss Williams and let her know, that he got injured.
He walked in and was crying, and he told me everything that went down, and then I called her and talked to her about it.
Okay, so take me to the party, Ms. Brenner. You're having the party. At what point in the party did this accident happen?
This happened more towards the end of the party. I mean, we had been there having a great time. Her son was acting rambunctious, probably because she was not there. So we couldn't control him.
So you didn't stay at the party?
I didn't go to the party.
At all?
No.
Okay. Ms. Williams didn't come. Her son was acting rambunctious. Did anybody have to calm him down?
Yes, several of the parents tried, but he kept saying, you know, you're not my mom, you're not my dad. And so, unfortunately, he had an accident in the slip and slide. He pushed the kid out of the way, and then he just went flying, so there was nothing we could do. We had asked him to be safe.
So the party was a slip and slide party?
Yes, yeah, and so I sent out an invitation, and I gave all the details, letting them know, you know, what was going to happen. So
Where's the invitation?
Surprises.
Did you bring it?
Yes, I did.
Let me see that, please. Thank you. So it's a slip and slide birthday bash for Sarah's 6th birthday. Parents are welcome to stay and play. So were there other parents there?
Yes, Your Honor. Every other child had their parent present.
But you just didn't choose to go?
I don't want to be around them. She's very hostile to me in general anyways, and it was already in the community. I felt he would be safe, but apparently not. I expected her to provide a safe environment.
But you knew it was a slip and slide party.
I did know that, but what I didn't know was that she was going to use dish soap as well on the slip and slide, so it's already on a hill, and she added dish soap to it to like extra lubricate it, so it's like a super...
Now it's bubbly and even more slippery. Did you add the dish soap, Ms. Brenner?
I did add some dish soap, yes.
Coming up.
I can tell it's a little chilly between the two of you.
She's a very difficult woman to deal with.
I've never done anything to you.
She's rude and disrespectful to us, as well as flirts openly with our husbands.
Whoa!
And later.
He broke the lease agreement first by not providing me a working washer.
The washer's fine, dryer's fine, nothing, it's working.
So he likes dirty clothes.
I don't understand what's going on.
We're back with Lauren Williams and Sasha Brenner, who are blaming each other for a child's injury.
So I had my clerk look up the directions for a slip and slide just to see how this thing works. Once the drop cloths are secured and in place, you just hook the hose to it and turn on the water. It doesn't say add bubbles.
Okay.
Well, in addition, the end of it was placed exactly where the playground equipment was, so that's what he ran into.
So
as
when he
flew
came
down the hill.
sliding down face first, did he slide down face first? Do you remember?
Yes. Yeah.
He ran into what? You were there.
Yes, he ran into the jungle gym.
Ooh.
So it was an unfortunate...
How close did you have this place to the jungle gym?
It wasn't that close. It was just close enough so when the kids came down from the slip and slide, they could go and play on the jungle gym. But it wasn't like right next to it where they could get hurt. I mean, all the other parents were there. None of the other kids got hurt, so I don't understand
But my son,
why we're here today.
He's 40 pounds, soaking wet. He's small. He just zoomed down the slide and ran right into the equipment.
Did it occur to you when he got injured, maybe I should not have used the dishwashing soap?
I really believe it was because he was just being out of control and there was nothing we could do to calm him down.
But when you invite 6-year-olds to a birthday party, isn't it reasonable to assume that there's going to be just a few of them? I know I remember from my son's birthdays. It's always a couple who come and act a fool. So tell me what happens from there.
I immediately took him to get it taken care of and looked at.
All right, so the exam, root canal, and an implant. All right, totaling $1,850. So I'm going to ask you, Ms. Brenner, you admit that you had the slip and slide, you add the dishwashing liquid. Why do you think you shouldn't be liable for these medical expenses?
I think that she should have been responsible and had come and watched her own child.
But your party invitation says parents are welcome to stay and play. It doesn't say parents are required to stay.
Absolutely, but I can't control every movement the child does.
No, you cannot. And so you believe it was her son's behavior that contributed to his accident that he had because no other child had the same accident?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you ever give her a call or send her a text and say, hey, you know, your little munchkin is down here wilding out. I think you might want to walk down here. Did you ever do that?
No, I did not.
So he obviously wasn't acting that bad.
He did start pushing other kids out of the way to get into the slip and slide, so it was bound to happen, I guess.
What was bound to happen?
The kid causing himself an accident was bound to happen. I mean, just the way he was running around and pushing people out of the way. It's just a miracle that he didn't get hurt any worse than he did.
So I can tell it's a little chilly between the two of you. What's your relationship like? You said you didn't even want to go to the party, Ms. Williams, because of the way they treated you.
No, and especially her. She's always very hostile towards me. I just don't want to be around that group of women.
Do you all like her, Ms. Brenner?
Your Honor, she's a very difficult woman to deal with, so
I've never done anything to you.
Lauren, you know that you are the bully. You make fun of our children's haircuts and what they wear to school. She's rude and disrespectful to us, as well as flirts openly with our husbands.
Whoa!
Please,
These are some strong
flirted.
allegations. How do you respond, Ms. Williams?
That's ridiculous. I've never flirted with anyone. If I've maybe smiled, been nice.
And you made fun of Lisa's kid's haircut. I mean, I think it's really disrespectful.
I think
and
maybe
rude
she needs to
talk about a child that way. I mean, they're 6 years old. However they want to wear their hair is
I was
fine.
just commenting on it.
Lord have mercy. Okay, order. I wish I had this gavel when I used to be in these mommy groups. You need a gavel in these mommy groups. I don't even want to hear you all bickering back and forth because it just takes me back to a time when I used to hear all that nonsense and I didn't want to hear it then. We have to be the adults in the scenario. You're not going to get along with every person. Every person is not going to be your cup of tea. It is a whole bunch of nonsense. Kids want to play and they want to have fun. To that end, you have to provide a reasonably safe party for those children to enjoy. Slip and slide, okay, that's a toy we all know about. However, you're adding dishwashing liquid, which the directions do not say. Well, a reasonable person in that circumstance should say, if I make it more slippery, that means something could potentially happen to a child who slips too far. In your own testimony, you said when a child is acting so rambunctious like that, an accident is bound to happen. When you invite people to a party, you are saying, I am going to do what's reasonably necessary to keep all of the children safe. And in this instance, you did not. And for that reason, my judgment is for the plaintiff for $1,850. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $1,850.
There you go.
Well, the mommies are going to hear about this.
Can you just tell me what your problem is with me?
You flirted with my husband at the PTSA
I never even
meeting.
talked to Tim.
You have his number. He showed me the text messages.
Coming up.
You develop a nose for these things. That old nose tells you when somebody's trying to do a number on you. And that's what I think is the situation. I just don't think she liked the building. She didn't like the people. In fact, when she moved in, we had a party for her, and she didn't show up.
Brianna Poole claims her landlord refused to fix the washing machine, so she had no choice but to move. Aaron Moss says the plaintiff was looking for an excuse to break her lease and is countersuing for $2,050.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Poole versus Moss. Ms. Poole, you are suing Mr. Moss for $2,050, which is your unreturned security deposit. You say he owes you even after you broke your lease. And the defendant, you are countersuing Ms. Poole for $2,050 because you claim that she owes you a month's rent. Is that correct?
Right, that's right.
I want to start with the plaintiff. Tell the court what happened during this lease term.
Multiple instances happened, but none were as worse as the washer machine.
How long was the lease term?
The lease term itself was 1 year long.
All right.
But I was there for 4 months.
Okay.
While I had that lease, I would have also a working washer and a dryer. My washer just didn't work anymore, and he refused to replace it. So I wanted to leave.
All right, tell me why you say it didn't work at all. I mean, you couldn't wash?
The motor itself, it went off. I tried calling a repairman, and he told me that the motor was broken.
So you called a repair person out?
I did call a repair
person out. And they
out.
diagnosed the issue?
Yes.
Do you have any evidence?
I do, Your Honor.
And so, Mr. Moss, were you made aware by Ms. Poole that the washer was not working properly in her unit?
Oh, she came to me, Your Honor, and she was very upset. She said, if you don't fix this, I'm going to move out.
Coming up.
Article 33, notices on the lease agreement. I could come after her for 8 more months of rent on her lease.
We're back with Brianna Poole and her former landlord, Aaron Moss, who are arguing over a security deposit and unpaid rent.
This was my parents' building. For 50 years. They passed away about 15 years ago, and I remodeled the whole place. I bought new washing machines for the building.
So this was a new washing machine?
No, 15 years old, Your Honor, but they did tell me these machines would last 25 years if you really took care of them well. I could come after her for 8 more months of rent on her lease because according to this, Article 33, notices on the lease agreement, she'd have to have this in writing sent to me.
Okay, let me see that evidence. You better go ahead and get your little evidence, Article 33. Let me see. So you've got the lease agreement. I see in the lease agreement that notice should be given. I've also reviewed, Ms. Poole, the evidence that you say the repair company came out and gave you where it says that the machine is 15 years old. Mr. Moss just confirmed that in his testimony. And what this repair company says is that the cycle doesn't spin fully because the machine does not agitate like it once did when it was new. The recommendation was to replace the motor, but the part is no longer in production. Did you receive a copy of this repair statement, Mr. Moss?
You know, I did, but I don't really. These people that come, they'll tell you this because they get you to buy a new machine, they get a kickback from the company. I've been a landlord for a long time. You develop a nose for these things. And sometimes that old nose tells you when somebody's trying to do a number on you. And that's what I think is the situation. I just don't think she liked the building. She didn't like the people. In fact, when she moved in, we had a party for her, and she didn't show up.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
You didn't show up to the welcome party, Ms. Poole?
I don't need to show up to anything like that, Your Honor. I work hard every day. I am a night shift nurse. All I do is work. All I do is see people 24/7. Why do I want to come home and have cookie cake and party with other people? I want to go home and I want to sleep.
And wash your clothes?
And wash my clothes.
Nothing's wrong. The washer's fine, dryer's fine. It's working.
So he likes dirty clothes.
I don't understand what's going on.
I understand exactly what's going on. This 15-year-old washer that we're dealing with needs a new motor. And that's it. Do you have another motor? Or could you just replace it with a reasonably cost new washer? That's what you could have done. And most importantly, you could have kept a great tenant.
Right.
I don't think you moved well through your business process, Mr. Moss.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been determined by this court, judgment for the plaintiff for $2,050. Defendant, your claim has been dismissed. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $2,050.
Well, what can you do? Sorry it worked out like this.
I'm happy to have my money back.
It's hurting me financially, but at least we're done with all this mess.
You may now exit the courtroom.
Fiona Thomas claims her ex-best friend temporarily blinded her by giving her makeup remover instead of lens solution. Lori Peters says Ms. Thomas is utterly ridiculous if she thinks it was anything but an accident.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding. Good morning, Judge.
You may be seated. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Thomas versus Peters. Ms. Thomas, you are suing Ms. Peters for $3,000 for medical expenses and 1 month's wages. Ms. Peters, you say that the incident was just an accident and you are not responsible.
Yes.
All right. Let's start with you, Ms. Thomas. Please tell the court what happened.
My now ex-best friend temporarily blinded me, and honestly, I believe that she's been after me from the very start of our friendship.
Really?
Yes. We met in college and we were in the same sorority, and she, to be quite honest with you, just always had it out for me because I think she likes to hold this air of superiority. She thinks she's better than everybody else and is often bragging and holding up her great achievements, which I'm just proud of her for. But she does so much comparison. I took it out of just the kindness of my heart to plan a trip for us to go to Palm Springs together. I even found the Airbnb. I arranged the whole thing. The only thing she had to do was drive, and she offered to do so because she said she was understanding that I drive quite often as I work as a rideshare driver. But then, as we were driving, I realized that I forgot my contact solution at home, and I just get really dry-eyed. I have a hard time seeing without my contact lenses. She said that she believed she had some contact solution left over in her car, so she gave it to me. And the next night, after we were at the pool or about to go out for dinner, I used the contact solution, and I've never been in such excruciating pain in my entire life. My eyes just I couldn't stop crying, just screaming in pain. I turned the brightest bloodshot red. I have evidence of that experience with photos.
Let me see your evidence.
Yes.
So wait, so she gave you what she thought was contact solution, but what was it?
I don't believe that she did think it was contact solution, but apparently it was eye makeup remover that gave me serious chemical burns and blinded me for a month.
Blinded you for a month?
Yes.
So I see your picture with very, very red eyes. You also had to, go to the urgent care? You had to go actually to the emergency.
Yes. She took me to the emergency room in that moment.
So she took you there.
Well,
Ms. Peters, what happened in your estimation? I mean, I see these red eyes. I see the bills for the medical expenses. What happened?
Yes, it was a mistake. This was an honest mistake. I got LASIK eye surgery a few months ago. I used to wear contact lenses. When I was traveling for work one day, I put liquid eye makeup remover in my contact solution bottle.
You were traveling, so you put eye makeup remover in your contact.
It was like a travel-sized bottle, a contact solutions lens bottle.
And you put that in there so you could remove your makeup. It was a little travel-sized bottle, so you just use that to fill it up.
Yes, to go to the airport.
But doesn't eye makeup remover come in a small size where it's already in a plain appropriate size, or you had a large?
I had a large bottle, so that's why I ended up putting it in the smaller bottle. So after we came home that day, she said, "Oh my God, I forgot my contact solutions," because she wears contacts. I said, "Okay, I think I have it in my makeup bag." So when we're at the pool, she's like, "I need it," so I gave it to her. Of course, her eyes started stinging, and I immediately brought her to the ER. Later, I remembered that it was eye makeup remover. Now, when we get back to LA, I've apologized profusely. In fact, I bought her groceries.
Oh my gosh.
I got her dinners.
You brought me groceries.
And she kept harassing me over the phone.
I wouldn't have had...
Ms. Thomas, you get the bottle, you use it, your eyes start burning, you have to go to the hospital. You can't see for how many days?
For an entire month. And yes, she did drive me and bring me groceries in that time, but she's acting as if like that was some big burden on her, where I felt like such a burden because I wasn't able to do those things for myself. And then at that end of that month, I received this massive hospital bill, and I reached out to her thinking that as my friend, she would, of course, want to contribute to that, especially considering that she has such a higher income than me that she loves to hold over my head. When I went to send her this text message, my text went green, because she blocked me. She blinded me and then she blocked me.
Coming up.
She has been harassing me, telling me that I need to get her groceries, telling me that I need to drive her, forcing me to pay her for things, bringing her to the doctors. Meanwhile, she's driving, and I have evidence.
And later.
So you get the bouncy castle, blew it all the way up.
So when he blew it up, everything looked as it should be. But when I looked inside, there were large patches. And I asked him about it, and he said that it would be okay.
We're back with the case of Fiona Thomas, who is suing her ex-best friend, Lori Peters, for temporarily blinding her.
Did you block her, Miss Peters?
Yes, I did. Your Honor, she was harassing me while I was at work, calling me 24/7, blowing up my phone, blowing up my Instagram, and in fact, I have evidence myself. Now, this temporary blindness was only supposed to last between 4 to 6 weeks.
You're lucky it didn't last longer than that.
Excuse me, 2 to 3 weeks later, through our mutual friend, who's closer to her than to me, I'm scrolling on Instagram. I click on her Instagram story just to see her driving. Now, she has been harassing me, telling me that I need to get her groceries, telling me that I need to drive her, forcing me to pay her for things, bringing her to the doctors. Meanwhile, she's driving, and I have evidence.
I'd like to see that evidence. You submitted a video to the court?
Yes, I did.
Let's see this.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for what we're doing later. This is gonna be the best day. Are you ready? Woo!
It looks like you can see just fine in that video, Miss Thomas.
You know, anybody could post a video that could have been taken any long time ago and post it now in order to help her look better.
This is annoying because I'm not understanding, Miss Thomas, why do you think Miss Peters would plot to put eye makeup remover inside of a contact lens bottle and just wait for you to ask her to use contact lens solution so she could blind you? I mean, you are actually in this court testifying as if she planned an attack on you because she thinks she's superior to you and she wants to make you feel worse about yourself because she's so much better than you.
She does, in fact, act like that.
Are you hallucinating?
No, I'm not hallucinating.
Nobody
She has
does
always
that.
been this way.
If you don't think this woman has good intentions by you, why are you taking her on a trip? Because the truth is, everything you're talking about is just a drama because you're a drama queen. This is obvious.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have reached out to her. She doesn't seem like the kind of person.
I'm sure she would have hoped you
didn't. I certainly regret it.
Accusing her of sitting up and pouring eye makeup remover into a little bottle. And this is why the story is just so unbelievable and ridiculous. Because how is she going to know? Do you think she would sit there and plot and say, at some point, she's going to need contact solution.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I know she's going to have forgotten it. Get a grip. Don't waste my time up in this courtroom. I have real cases to see, real people to help, and real dilemmas to help solve.
Fine, I guess I'm a drama queen.
You are. And now you're going to smile.
Look,
if you need attention, get a friend. Get a dog.
Get a therapist.
Don't get a therapist. That's a good one, Miss Peters.
Yes. I really think she needs help.
But do not come up in this courtroom wasting the court's time on an issue that you clearly know was an error. She has shown regret and remorse for the mistake, feeding you and running around trying to take care of you because she felt awful about it. No one would want to do that to another human being. And you know good and well you could have gone back to work if you wanted. After you flushed your eyes out, it might have taken you a couple of days. I see the doctors, the medical expenses that you did incur, but this was not intentional, nor was it in any way negligent. This was an accident.
I disagree.
I'm glad. And when you get yourself a courtroom and a gavel and a robe, you can make the ruling. But for now, this one is mine, and the judgment is for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
So how do you feel about the verdict?
I'm very pleased, but in fact, I actually feel sorry for her because I really think she needs help.
Any thoughts?
I really regret giving her a second chance as a friend.
I'm going to forgive you for myself, not for you, because you need to learn to grow up.
Coming up.
I asked her, if you want, you can go jumping on it. Everything was working.
Your Honor, we only tested out the bouncy castle when he set it up for like a minute, and that was it.
Zahir Wasson claims his neighbor rented his bouncy castle, and when she returned it, it was riddled with holes. Rita Kumar says the castle collapsed because it was patched when she got it.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Wasson versus Kumar. Mr. Wasson, you're suing Ms. Kumar for $1,560. You say she returned your bouncy house damaged, and Ms. Kumar, you said it was faulty and worn down, and it was not your fault. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Wasson, please tell the court what happened to your bouncy house.
Your Honor, I owned this bouncy castle for 10 years, and I bought it for my kids. And it was the best investment because they have fun. I sometimes rent it out to the families, friends, neighbors. And it ended up, I gave it to her, and it ended up with holes, and it damaged. It's unusable anymore, Your Honor.
Okay, so tell me why you gave it to her or you rented it to her?
I rented to her.
All right, how much was the rental cost?
It was $50. I just gave it for $50 because she's
$50?
Yes, Your Honor.
For a bouncy castle?
For a whole day.
Why did you give it to Ms. Kumar for $50 for the whole day?
Because she's a friend and a neighbor, Your Honor.
And did you realize, Ms. Kumar, that $50 was a significant discount?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right, so you're at a party. What kind of party are you having?
So it was my big 3-0.
So you get the bouncy castle, blew it all the way up, and everything looked great.
So when he blew it up, everything looked as it should be, but when I looked inside, there were large patches and there were seams that were worn out, and I asked him about it, and he said that it would be okay.
Coming up.
Did you have Ms. Kumar sign a damage waiver?
I have not, because Ms. Kumar was one of my friends. I thought it's...
We're back with neighbors Zahir Wasson and Rita Kumar, who are arguing over a damaged bouncy castle.
So you saw worn out seams?
Yes.
When you say worn out seams, describe to the court what they looked like.
I have a photo. May I present
Even
you
better.
with an evidence?
Sean, may I see the photo, please?
So this is what it looked like after 2 hours of it being inflated.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
It had collapsed. And so I see also here a receipt. You had rented this bouncy castle to another client the week before.
Exactly.
And everything worked out fine.
Yes, I always have him sign the damage waiver. It shows that it's used and it completely works before, during, and after the party.
Did you have Ms. Kumar sign a damage waiver?
I have not, because Ms. Kumar was one of my friends. I thought it's insulting if I have her sign that paper.
Okay, but I'm looking at a picture here where I can see it does look a little worn in the seam area. I just
Your
saw
Honor,
that
this
picture.
exactly
Those are the seams
happened
that I was
after
talking
gave
about.
it to her. Because when I gave it to her at the other birthday party, it was completely working. If it was like that in a picture, it wouldn't blow up all the way for the other party that I get it rented for.
Ms. Kumar, you're testifying that the seam looked like that
before the party, when he blew it up in front of me and I asked him about the large patches and the worn out seams. This was one of the seams that were worn out.
I asked her, if you want, you can go jumping on it. Everything was working.
Your Honor, we only tested out the bouncy castle when he set it up for like a minute, and that was it.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
I'm not sure if it was in great condition when you took it over to Ms. Kumar's. The picture that we're seeing with the seams, You're saying that her guest calls, she's saying that it was like that when she got it. I don't see the same letter that you had signed by your previous client. I don't see that Ms. Kumar signed it.
Because she's not a client, she is a friend to me.
Exactly. So you charged her $50 and this really wasn't a business deal. You should have made sure she signed off on something indicating that all of the entire bouncy house was checked and it was in great working order. Because what she's saying is, I did see there were seams and I talked to him about it, but you said it was fine, so they went on ahead and used it. I actually have empathy for you in terms of the position you're in. You try to do something nice. You feel like when you get the item back, the item is not working the way it did the week before. The problem is that Ms. Kumar did testify that the seams, what she saw them to be problematic. It looks to me like it is slightly worn, which is why I believe the bouncy house collapsed. So it is for that reason, judgment for the defendant in this case. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
You got what you asked for. Too bad.
You gotta buy me a new bouncy castle.
I'm not buying you anything. The judge
It was
ruled
not
already.
fair. I'm
Go to the
so
store and get yourself
disappointed.
something.
I'm so upset.
That's not my problem.
Sorry, it didn't work out.